cage our mind. Together we face this incessant bind, challenging a past we can't erase, replacing it with hope for a better place. Another day, another dawn, another damn thing to get done. Far from home, we still toil away, looking back somewhere we cannot stay, breaking the chains we cannot see. We'll either be damned or we'll be free. Oh, grab the past sharply by the throat. Our sins be damned will bring hope, forged in the fire of a wicked end. From the ashes we find a friend, brothers in arms made along the way. Birds of a feather will fly away. Another day, another dawn, another damn thing to get done. Far from home, we still toil away, looking back somewhere we cannot stay, breaking the chains we cannot see. We'll either be damned or we'll be free. Oh, what has passed is done and gone. It's time to grab the reins and move on. We'll face this world, but not alone. This new family is now my home. The day is done, so I lay down my head. Who can say what's up ahead? It doesn't matter, nothing's set in stone. And whatever may come, I'm not alone. Another day, another dawn, another damn thing to get done. Far from home, we still toil away, looking back somewhere we cannot stay, breaking the chains we cannot see. We'll either be damned or we'll be free. Oh,
it starts with a whisper, a seed in the mind, a doubt that grows louder, stealing your time. You're not enough, it says you'll never succeed, but I've learned how to silence that voice with my creed. I've fallen in prison, I've lost and I've gained. Every bruise on my soul is the proof that I've trained. This is me versus me, no one else in the ring, and I'm ready to fight till I hear the bell ding. I'm not perfect, but I'm perfectly flawed. Every step that I've taken was worth every scar. I'm done with the fear, the lies in my ear, the shadows that kept me bound year after year. Now I see the light breaking through the rain, turning every doubt into strength, breaking chains. Breaking chains, I'm rising up strong, turning all my doubts into fuel for this song. They can't hold me back, I've claimed my name. The voice in my head will never be the same. Breaking chains, I'm free to believe in the power within, in what I can achieve. This is my fight, my story, my reign. I'm breaking chains, I'm breaking chains. You've gotta lose to learn, stumble to climb. A doubt that grows louder, stealing your time. You're not enough, it says you'll never succeed. But I've learned how to silence that voice from my creed. I've fallen and risen, I've lost and I've gained. Every bruise on my soul is the proof that I've trained. This is me versus me, no one else in the ring. And I'm ready to fight till I hear the bell ding. I'm not perfect, but I'm perfectly flawed. Every step that I've taken was worth every scar. I'm done with the fear, the lies in my ear, the shadows that kept me bound year after year. Now I see the light, breaking through the rain, turning every doubt into strength, breaking chain. But gotta lose to learn, stumble to climb, face the darkest moments to find the shine. I've doubted myself, let the fear dictate, but now I see doubt, it's just love and debate. The voice isn't my enemy, it's my chance to prove I can grow, to rise and advance. I've seen the bottom, now I'm reaching the top, and the climb doesn't end till my heartbeat stops. So bring the doubts, bring the storms and the pain, I'll turn it all into strength unchained. Breaking chains, I'm rising up strong, turning all my doubts into fuel for this song. They can't hold me back, I've claimed my name. The voice in my head will never be the same. Breaking chains, I'm free to believe in the power within, in what I can achieve. This is my fight, my story, my reign. I'm breaking chains, I'm breaking chains. You've got to lose to learn, starts within.
Hello, hello. Oh, excuse me. Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Chronicles of Anaria. And with that, let's go ahead and meet up with the rest of the party here, huh?
I was just about to have my mac and cheese. Why would you do this to me?
You gotta stop this. Eat before session.
Sad DM noises.
That's it.
Hi, everybody.
Everyone
Hello,
talk.
everyone.
Okay.
Hello.
All right. DM, come on. Eat before session. You know better.
I know.
Does somebody else want to read so John can stuff his face?
No, you're good. I got it. We're gonna be starting up with good morning everybody role play. So,
Ooh.
well, yeah, you guys are coming up off a long rest. So, all right, let me. Okay. Last time, the broken chains found themselves being overpowered by a monstrosity capable of shifting into their worst fears and memories before it took the form of a mind flayer. With most of the party worse for wear, Iris leapt into action to contend with this false vestige of her father. In the ensuing battle, we were given a brief glimpse of the results of the abhorrent experiments that were done on Iris by her father, leading to our coy cat girl taking down the monstrosity in an extremely violent and uncharacteristic manner. As the party began to decompress from the conflict, they soon heard voices calling out to them from the town square, ordering them to leave the tavern. When they emerged, they found themselves face to face with the might of a couple hundred goblins that had taken up shelter in the abandoned city, eager to defend their new home. However, before they took action, the nest mothers of these tribes stepped forward to inquire as to what was going on. And it was during this exchange that the party learned the large tribe was comprised of smaller ones from across Rudania, led by three, with the most respected one, Gem, being referred to as the Nest Queen. After some lighthearted politics, a deal was struck protecting the party and their animals from the goblin tribe so they could awaken refreshed to deal with the nearby cave and return to Oriakester to request a leader's presence in Rimbark's Rest to make an agreement regarding the town. As the party laid down for the night, Vale took some time for themselves and interacted with the raven that had been acting as a sentry for our little Kenku. In doing so, Vale learned that this raven has ties to a spirit known as the White Lady, who had been seen around their home, Kanzakad. We now rejoin our heroes as they awaken in a newly reborn Rembark's Rest as they continue their investigation of what's happened to the town. BB, you had that roll. So as you had already woken back up with more of a short rest, but getting just enough to recuperate, you thumb through the book. Hold on. And you take a brief moment and kind of hop your way over to your cart and pull out a small vial of animal blood. You don't remember which because you have a habit of mixing all the different bloods of different animals when you had noticed that a particular story had been unbiased. And as you kind of take the vial, sit back down, you look at your animals, you look at the two horses, you look at the raven who's now snoozing up in the rafter. And as you kind of uncork this little vial and pour a little bit of a drop into it before sealing it up, the book gently shifts through a couple of pages closer to the front. And you see what looks to be farmland. It's actually a landscape. Some distant land, no trees. It certainly couldn't be Torshaven. Aside from the small smattering of apple trees and pine and oak. And as you're kind of looking into this landscape, go ahead and give me a quick investigation check.
Investigation. Okay, let's see. Ace. 17. Is 27.
27. Very simply enough, this is the most you've gotten out of this story thus far, in experimenting with different types of animal blood and getting that same repetitive result, which led to you just mixing blood haphazardly. You notice amongst the highly detailed image, there's letters in common. And with that investigation check, you see LLBEOS.
Are they all together or are they kind of separated?
It's kind of like one, those pictures, like the pictures from a kid, from like the kids' books, where you'd have to like look for like letters or particular things in a much broader photo. But you do pick out those letters. Those are the only ones you can see.
Okay.
But no problem. But with that, you see the raven kind of pop down, look at it for a moment, and kind of closes the book. And calls very loudly, which starts waking up the rest of you guys. Now I'm gonna eat my mac and cheese.
Eris gets up a little bit earlier, like while BB's working on her book. Unfortunately, having to run into a private spot because, psycho mimic flesh didn't exactly agree with her. But she gets up and she checks on everyone before setting up breakfast.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
BB and the Raven now are both saying good, like singing "Good morning, good morning," and BB is using a voice to mimic one of their compatriots. The Raven is mimicking BB, mimicking them.
The
Roll.
sorry. Good.
So, roll me a d6 real quick and re-roll a 6.
Who are you mimicking?
Is that going to be a grand total or 2 totals?
Just 1d6, and then
Well,
re-roll it
said
if you land a 6.
I did. So am I adding both of those together?
No, it's
It's a
just
6.
just the one.
Okay, it's a 6 and a 4.
What? No.
You said
I,
re-roll a 6 if I got a 6.
yeah. Okay. So it would be a 4. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Funnily enough, Iris, you hear your own voice coming out of her buddy.
Yep.
She just opens her mouth for a second, like she was gonna comment on it, but just closes it and goes back to setting up the coffee. If there's any left after the lessons for the goblins last night.
The incessant singing that is getting in the way of my beauty sleep will receive the response of a handful of most likely rotten hay being thrown harmlessly in the direction of the perpetrator.
Phoebe is going to come over and then just kind of look at 6. It's a good morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to get punched, Bird. If you're not careful.
BB is going to attempt to work on dexterity with 6. Purposely getting in the way of 6.
Wait, you're purposely what?
Getting in the way of 6. Work on their dexterity.
Oh my god.
All right. 6, attack roll at disadvantage because you're still waking up. And BB, go ahead and give me a dex check.
Yeah, disadvantage because I'm still prone. Like, I don't want to get up. This is a 5 more minutes sort of situation.
Lazy kick.
Yeah.
Hey, this is just a straight roll or a dex check? Or just check is just straight.
Dex check.
Right? Okay.
Okay, disadvantage.
Total 20.
It's a good thing it was disadvantage. That is a nat 1 for an 8.
Oh. Reroll.
I'm going to politely decline that reroll because 6 is too asleep to benefit from it, or in a realistic sense.
So
I'll take that nat 1. It's
Ruby,
okay.
So Ruby, as you're watching BB kind of run up and kind of like prod at 6, 6 gives a kind of like, as she kind of rolls onto the side to confront BB, she just takes a wide swing with her arm and just buries it into the hay next to her, and you just hear, "Damn," from your companion that's witnessing this as well before disappearing. Unfortunately, BB, you do not get anything out of that.
The enjoyment.
Do I mark off my luck feat for being used, or just?
No, yeah, you use a luck point, so take 1 point out.
Okay.
So
That's okay.
I'll reluctantly sit up. My hair is an absolute mess, and there's bits of hay strands sticking out of it. My eyes are still closed, just.
Can
Liz.
Go ahead.
Liz wakes up, kind of pats Iris on the head as a thank you for making coffee. Then looks over at 6. Your hair is a mess.
If her hair's a mess, I can only imagine how bad mine is. Will says as he takes out his hair tie to check his hair for hay.
Come here, the two of you.
1 second. Let me roll for Will's hair.
And I could only imagine how bad hers is. And he points at Ruby.
I have a comb and stuff on me, yes?
Why? You don't have hair.
You know why I ask.
I mean, DM's got a point there, Liz.
No,
No,
the DM knows why I ask.
You would, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd fuck with you.
You guys would see as Liz like rummages in her bag and pulls out a kind of nice comb.
And for the record, Will, Ruby is already up and brushing her hair.
Illustrates the fact that it could have been worse than his when she woke up.
Well, you'll never know.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go over to Six's hair first and start working on getting the hay out of it at least.
Do I roll for the breakfast?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a survival check
All right.
while they handle their business.
The shenanigans have begun.
Apparently, the apology breakfast went really well. It's a 22.
Nice.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah. Well, all right, I'll bring that up later. Go ahead, continue, Liz.
And Liz is just quietly pulling the stuff out of Six's hair. She's not pulling like she's combing, but she's not combing hard enough to like jostle her or anything.
Yeah, and it's okay. So I know you guys have actually absolutely like seen this in anime where like the baddest bitch in town is reduced to just halfway sleeping, getting this mat of hair. It tickles the crap out of me.
Yeah, I just picture Tyga.
I'm imagining.
From Toradora.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. It's.
I'm imagining Frieren.
Bear in mind, like I suffered a point of exhaustion last session, so.
Again.
Wouldn't that have been sorted out by our sleep though?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
you still feel like shit.
Yeah, you're still groggy.
You still feel like shit, and you sleep hard, hence the hair, and the lack of I want to punch shit. At least right now.
Zombie 6.
Well, everybody is tending to everybody else. BB's gonna go and pester Ruby whilst Liz does her thing.
Right. Liz 6, continue.
Liz is humming a quiet song. She half remembers it and stuff, but it's I don't know if Six would recognize it, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna DM it to you why.
Is it from where we're from? Or is it from where you're from?
Yes.
Let's see. I'd say 6, you're still kind of a little groggy. If you do want to kind of check in on it, kind of check it as you're waking up. Go ahead and give me one. Hate to say this, hate to do this to you. Intelligence at disadvantage. Because you're groggy trying to remember this.
Just straight intelligence.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even need to look at my sheet for that. Though it does take me a moment to actually like take care of my dice because everything is all laggy for me.
Oh yeah.
Yikes. That is a bold 3.
Intelligence.
The best you can get out of it is it's a song you've heard, but because of the heavily groggy state, it's way back in your memory. So like you vaguely recognize it, but you can't quite place it from where.
I recognize the melody, but I don't remember the name at the moment. I don't have enough brain for this.
Name, lyrics, but you would recognize it. It is a Southern Ad Valorem song.
And Liz only half remembers it too, so she's like half humming. Like she's not humming it properly either, so that doesn't help.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rod.
I like taking care of people's hair.
I mean, it stands to reason. So yeah, you're on take care of.
Was that common?
Someone. Nah, she'll like smack her face. Try to wake up.
Coffee is being brewed.
Oh, thank God. I require the elixir of life.
I'm
Hey,
afraid
Iris.
I'm afraid I don't have that, but we have coffee.
What's the difference?
Is the Iris? Wow, is the Iris done? Is the coffee done, Iris?
A mage hand floats over with a cup, a mug for 6.
Little metal traveling
Mm.
cup.
I'm not even gonna ask. And she just drowns in this shit. Oh, yeah.
I move over to Will's hair.
Oh, well, at least you're taller than me. But if you need me to sit down, I will.
You're fine.
All right.
How bad's Will's hair?
I rolled a 5 out of 20, so it's pretty bad. Probably on par with 6s.
All right. When we get back to Trustfell, we're going to sit down and have a little chat about taking care of your hair. What is this? Liz is actually very gentle in getting the mats out, but yeah.
Well, haven't Bates and so we left Toria Custer.
Gross.
Baby pipes up. I know.
Well, there is a lake over there if you really want. I don't know how clean the water is, but
I'm fine.
Cleaner than him.
Let's not be too mean. There haven't been many rivers on the way.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we're not gonna fuck with him, though.
And remember, the last still water we came upon had friends in it.
Yeah, they were delicious. Actually, do we still have any of that left? Who had the kelpie kelp?
I think it was you.
Oh.
Yeah, it was you.
I'm gonna check my bag. How rotten is this stuff?
Give me a d20.
Just straight.
Yep.
Okay. 12.
Well, it's still good. You probably lost maybe a serving or two, but I mean, you guys did in a way cure it after you actually ranked it all in and harvested it. So it's a good amount is still usable.
All right, I'll spend a little bit of time to pick out what isn't good anymore, and just leave that aside for whatever animals get to it in the meantime. All right. What else have we got to go with this stuff? Because I'm not going to eat just greens. I need meat.
I'm working on it right now.
All right, great. I'll get up and just kind of half dragging my bag over to Iris, just yawning and scratching under my boobs.
Yeah. But it's at this point you guys start smelling Iris's cooking, and it's very good. It's just on the scent alone, it's on par with a home cooked meal. Very fitting considering the locale. But it's still it's still it's not the grandest presentation. It's just a slab of venison. God, I'm blanking on the word. Rations. There you go. Venison rations. Looks like Iris found a couple stray eggs. 2 and 6, you kind of added a little bit of help to it by breaking up some of the kelpie kelp and mixing it in with some into the eggs to scramble it. But it's a pretty solid meal, and it's very delicious.
Not bad for something thrown together. Nice job, kid.
Really good.
Thank you, Iris.
I kind of wanted to apologize for yesterday. So
Man, fuck that. Stop apologizing for everything, man. You saved most of us. Liz got her ass kicked. But what else is new?
Gee, thanks.
You're welcome.
I know I kind of got us into that situation, so I just wanted to make it as an apology, and I'll work on stop apologizing.
Well, I'm going to ignore your apology because we came with you of our own volition. You're fine, man. Nice breakfast. What are we doing this morning? Wasn't there, like, this cave that we were supposed to go to? Or what are we doing that?
Yeah, but I'm gonna head to the tavern first.
I don't think there's any alcohol left.
Or much of anything.
Doesn't hurt to check though.
Well, I mean, there were like mimics in there. Maybe they had something good on them. We were sort of apprehended pretty quickly yesterday. What time is it? That time.
You guys got anything else?
Well,
Everybody was bothering me. I know that.
Yeah. Everybody, what are you doing? Well, other than bothering Ruby.
BB is what does Ruby's comb look like?
It's one of those boar brushes, and it has like a pearlescent back to it with some like nice filigree. It's not like extremely fancy, but it is a nice brush. You could probably get it for a few gold if you sold it.
BB's looking at that brush. And
You're
Ruby.
not- What do you want, bird?
Pretty? And the raven says, pretty?
Thank you.
And then points to the brush. And then does like, can I see motion?
You're not going to run off with it, are you?
I shake their head.
Ruby will like clean out the brush of her hair, and then she'll hand it to the bird.
DM, I also messaged you a question earlier. Also, they're going to use said brush to brush their little raven friend.
Oh. Oh God. Let's see here.
Iris is gonna go up to BB and say, "Were you the one that brought me back up during the fight, right?"
BB points to the bird.
Oh.
Friend.
She looks at the friend and smiles and, "Thank you."
You'll notice that as you say thank you, the raven kind of ducks its beak and actually extends one of its wings out like a bow.
Classy friend. Okay.
hey Iris, is it alright if I ask you a couple questions?
I'll walk with him if he wants to ask. Yeah, yes, we can ask while we walk.
Okay. Thanks for brushing out my hairless.
Smoking like a true cop.
So are Iris and Will walking away from Ruby and BB?
Yeah. Where is everyone going from here? Iris and Will are heading to the tavern. Yep.
BB's
BB,
gonna make
sticking
sure
with
that
Ruby.
nobody's around.
Okay.
And kind of nod to Ruby.
Hold on. But Liz 6, you guys planning on meeting with everybody else at the cave? What's going on?
Yeah, I'd like to at least take a look.
Yeah, I'll go with 6 to look at the cave.
Ruby's gonna head to the cave too.
Let's see what we're dealing with. I don't want to like go in, and if I can help it, I'm not gonna like start up sort of event, but I kind of want to see what's going on in there. And I personally would prefer Iris to not be there while I'm doing it.
No, yeah. If I was going to Will, we'll have you guys reconvene with the cave. Well, that being said, we'll start with Iris and Will first. As the four of you start heading north along the main road. out of the farm, heading this way. Iris and Will, you can cut through the old alleys, if you could even call them that, and it's the old backyard, busted down fences. And almost immediately, as the two of you are getting closer to the town square, you start hearing a lot of noise. And you can see, even at a distance, it looks like dust trails are kind of like being kicked up. You hear clattering, yelling, but it's not panicked. It seems high energy.
What are they up to?
Well, I'm excited. Maybe some good news. I mean, their leaders were pregnant. Maybe Jem gave birth or something.
Yeah.
What do you two do?
Oh, sorry, I was getting into it. I just
Yeah.
did
No,
a
yeah, you're good.
pause as Will was thinking of the best way to ask this. So, who was the mind flayer to you? Or sorry, the creature. Who was that creature to you?
He gives a little bit of a pause, like she almost doesn't want to believe it, and then looks over at Will. I think that was my father, but what he he had become.
I I see.
I think he wasn't uh, like the other monsters, though. I remember the two people that helped get us out. They mentioned something that he said. Something morphosis. Cardiomorphosis, I think, is what they said. I don't know exactly the term, but it seemed an important term, and he was himself. He didn't seem like the monsters.
I I will admit it. It looked familiar to me too. The scar on its arm and the fact that it lost the tentacles on its face.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something happened that I think made him remember who he was. Or maybe he was that all the time and he found a way to hide it, because I just remember him as just my father, just the human father. And the fact is, I don't know if that was him just hiding what he was, or if he was that, and then something happened to change him into that. It's so confusing. This thing in my head's screwing with my memories too.
I'm sure that thing in your head isn't helping either.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll find something nice that you could get a new conduit for your magic.
Well, I think I can do at least smaller stuff, and I do have this. And she reaches into her bag and pulls out a light crossbow. It's not cocked or anything like that, but it's like I'm not defenseless, but I'm definitely hampered until we find something. She puts
Yeah.
it back in the bag. Just so that she's not armed in front of the goblins.
Okay. Um,
Oh, but
eh,
yeah, Will is just thinking now. Why were Iris's parents at Oakheart to begin with that night?
Mhm.
You know, why did he show him those runes and whatnot?
and it's in the midst of this contemplation discussion with Iris, as you're processing these different ideas, you can hear coffee, cough, and battering bits of wood. And as you guys come from a couple between a couple houses, you see the goblins are running around wildly. There's no conflict. But even with your passive perception, so you guys can, the two of you look, and you can see that the well where, that sits just in front of the statue, the mud statue that they had made, there is a large, almost witch cauldron sized pot, and it smells an awful lot like Torshaven coffee.
Well, if we're out of coffee, we could ask them if they could spare a couple cups for Six and the others.
I still fail to see the logic in giving these little guys coffee. Maybe they'll make them taste better, but I'm. Anyway, we should probably get to the tavern.
Yeah, as you almost say this a little too loud, you look to make sure the goblins didn't hear. They don't. They are just too cracked up on coffee to be paying too much attention to you guys. But as you guys make your way into the tavern, you can see the large piles of flesh that are already beginning to rot and seem to be emanating some kind of a semi-transparent dark black smoke. The most apparent one is you can gather that while these other ones are doing it, the one that became the mind flayer probably would have. Oh wait, no, I apologize. If I remember correctly, BB decomposed everything, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Okay. Yeah. So correction on my part. You don't see flesh. You do still see the mind flayer spine that you crudely discarded halfway across the tavern. It's kind of partially flopped off the side of an overturned table. But the evidence of battle still there. Knowing that you're the ones that made it, you can kind of piece everything together. But anybody else, it would have just looked like extra damage. So what are you guys looking for here?
Will just looks at the carnage, shrugs, and approaches the bar side, and begins to check the bottles of alcohol.
Okay. Give me a quick investigation check.
Okay, that plus I think it was 24.
24. Okay. And you kind of, look through it. Distinctly enough, a lot of it had been raided. As you see the ones that might have been smashed in prior conflicts. And it's just as you're about to give up, that you kind of look through one last cupboard, and you do see a probably 3/4 filled glass bottle that's kind of heavily wrapped with leather and tied off with a little bit of a thin rope. It's definitely been opened, so it's probably going to stink. It's definitely fermented a bit and kind of aged out and skunked. but you do find one bottle.
Will just takes off the rope and the leather, but now is holding it in his right hand.
Right.
You know, Iris, I don't know if you remember, but I ended up learning that these things really hate fire.
Not a lot of things.
So, yeah. And, well, I figured I'd help Liz out a little if we do encounter any more of those things.
You're pretty crafty with that. You doing the spiced gloves and this? Did you learn this in your training?
Did I?
No, this would have been results of your previous life
Not
when
at
you were
all.
a bit more rebellious.
Not at all. You think they would let us do something this underhanded? Nah, this. It was from a different time. Before I even became Legionnaire.
I'd I'd like to probably learn about that, and maybe, you know, you feel okay with talking about it. It's a shame, though, that there's really nothing left. I could really go for a drink right now. I need something to calm my nerves before.
Well, from what's here, I mean, you have prestidigitation, right?
Yes.
You could, from what I remember, one of the other enlistees, you could make yourself think of that taste if you want. It won't do anything else effectively, but it'll help for a few seconds.
Yeah. Just the thought of going back in caves, especially that one. She just shudders.
I'm probably gonna be no better should we ever head home.
She goes up to the spine and just picks it up. I really went out of control yesterday, didn't I?
I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, if that thing took the dad, I probably would have gone crazy too.
But,
Well, angry, kind of crazy.
yeah. You have that weird power of yours, and I have this now. I'd say it'd be odd, but
Well,
considering Six and Ruby and BB and all of us, I guess it's really not that weird.
it's again last night. Said you were interesting.
Seems I'm a child of a mind flare and a were-tiger.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting, if not a little bit monstrous. But you didn't get your shot at it.
And your dad is possibly I was saying, and your dad is possibly the reason why I'm suffering through this thing.
I don't know if he's alive or dead, but we still need to get your answers. But she walks over and hands out the spine to Will. It's like, if you wanted to get one last hit on it, you can break it if you want.
Well, I got it in the eye, but thanks. He decides to see what's the best angle before trying to crack it over his knee.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a straight d20 plus your strength.
Oh shit! 21.
21. Very nice.
I got a 19
Nice.
on the die.
So as you kind of look over this and kind of set the bottle down real quick, you grab the spine, and it acts as a spine. It doesn't kind of lean and overextend slightly. As you're about to slam it over the top of your knee, you kind of think for a moment, and since it's flexible, it would be more of a sudden jolt and then a quick pull. So you move it down towards your shin. So you lift your chin up and extend your leg through it to snap it in half, and you feel the strength that you got pulled out of this. You feel exhilarated, and for a brief moment, Iris, you see a little bit of a flicker of orange in Will's eyes. With that,
Damn, that felt good.
with that, we'll start.
Oh, we shouldn't keep the others waiting.
We'll start heading you guys towards the cave. On the way to the cave, BB, you were kind of trying to pull Ruby aside, so you kind of wait for Liz and Six to kind of get ahead.
BB's just gonna they'll keep up with Ruby. If Ruby's gonna go with everybody, they'll keep up. And as they hand the brush back, it says, "Pretty friend."
Your bird?
No. And then nod to the little floating friend that Ruby has.
Yeah,
Is Burbody referring to what I think they're referring to?
yeah. You can see BB looking almost directly at the ethereal, bright green butterfly that kind of exists between existence planes, keeping an eye on you.
Oh.
And then the bird just skips away.
Skull.
Hmm?
Why did I get stuck with this damn bird?
You hear a little light chuckle. Bit of bad luck. And he floats after Bird Buddy and kind of keeps closer to the trees, so he blends in more.
I was half expecting it to start laughing as it left. Sorry, continue.
Ruby will just kind of roll her eyes and continue after, or she'll go and walk alongside Six and Liz now.
All right.
Do you think mimics taste good?
Please don't eat a mimic.
Why not?
You
Like,
know, I
Liz?
mean, it probably tastes like, what is it? The little white bird that lays eggs?
Oh, which little white bird? There's a lot of little white birds that lay eggs.
The ones that we keep.
A chicken?
Bird Buddy
Yes.
makes a clucking noise.
Yes,
yeah,
those.
chickens. Maybe, but how, like there's the inside of the mimic itself is like all meaty and shit. Like, what if, what if you're able to like grab the tongue and then like cut that into little pieces, and I don't know, maybe shape them as they're drying out. I Mimicaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, oh, we ate Kelpie. Why not mimic?
I think
Uh,
you've been in prison too long.
Ruby, Liz, and Bird Buddy, you take 1 point of psychic damage for
No,
mimicaroni and cheese.
I'm
I
going
didn't
along
say
with this.
anything.
I'm not
I
taking
didn't
psychic
contribute
damage.
to that conversation, John. Excuse me.
No, I
That's not
refuse to
part of
take
the
psychic damage
conversation.
because I'm
Fuck
enjoying
you.
this.
I
I
think
didn't
this
laugh
is
or anything at that.
beforehand.
I'm just fucking with you guys.
It's, I mean, like, think about it. Like, the entire nature of a mimic is just to become something else. You can make entire meals off of mimic, and it'll never be the same thing. You could make some kind of like meat based thing that's not exactly meat. It'd be like fake meat.
Tofu.
Oh
You're
my
not.
gosh, mimics
You,
are tofu.
you're not here. You're not here, Iris. But yes, that is the thing that I'm insinuating. Mimics are tofu.
Okay. Okay.
I worry about you. I really do.
Oh, why?
What?
I
We
mean,
eat lots of other things. What's wrong with eating the mimic?
yeah, like
Worry.
we eat weird things all the time. You should see the things that we eat in Stonegate.
What's your
Listen.
favorite meal from Stonegate?
Oh man, bog toad's legs.
Hey, John, I'm DMing you.
Okay.
I've never tried Stonegate cuisine.
You're missing out, man.
I'm sure I am.
Bog toad's legs. Meyer trout. Oh, the Meyer trout was so good at this one place that I used to go to all the time. I'll have to take you sometime. You're really in for a treat. But the thing is that you really don't want to go to a restaurant in Stonegate. The restaurants in Stonegate are really overpriced. You want to find some back alley somewhere, and you want to go to like a food stall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where the best food is.
Fire trout is good. It's pricey though.
It can
will
be.
have to believe you on that.
Well, I mean, you'll see for yourself one day. I mean, I'm sure we'll make it out that way at some point. But
And we're gonna have to.
yeah, you're really in for a treat. I think you're gonna love it.
I hope.
It doesn't look like much, but just give it a chance. Don't judge a book by its cover.
All right.
Baby's gonna go make a quick mention that the like a motion of a spider, and then they're gonna mimic chomping down on it, and then rub their belly, and
Slimy yet satisfying.
Oh.
I haven't had spider yet, but I imagine it would probably pretty decent.
I'm not eating a spider.
I could see it as a seasoning, maybe. Like, the legs, you grind them up.
everybody's just ecstatically nodding.
I'll try it. Yeah.
The grub you had me that you let me taste was very good.
Phoebe just starts clapping, and then yeah, eager to try new things.
This whole conversation, I'm just like chowing down on a ration. I have been eating since mostly the start of breakfast. You'll notice that there's a lot more calorie intake since she began training. So let's take a look and see what this cave has going on. I didn't want Iris here in case my suspicions are true.
Okay. As you guys make your way north and hook a sharp right, kind of cutting along this road through a couple of the houses. You wind up back at Iris's shop and home. You can see the dense hedgerows of different herbs that, at least at one point, were normal, but now have a much more ethereal, almost alien glow to it. Different hues from their usual ones. A couple of spikes here and there. Petals drooping a bit more than normal.
If I may, I'm gonna let the other girls know. Go on ahead. I'm gonna see what I can get from this. I mean, might be awesome. I want to try it. I'm just gonna try to collect a few of these herbs, like just a variety.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a nature check to see if anything in particular piques your interest. Which, granted, is all of it, but out of
Yeah,
this
all
massive
of it
collection.
is interesting. It's an intelligence roll. Bless you.
Thank you.
16.
16. Okay. Two things catch your eye. There, as you kind of work your way through a couple of the hedgerows, you can see that what at least was once what seemed to be a standard berry bush with a couple branches that were pricked out with a couple points. You see that the hooked little spines coming off of the branch are longer and narrower. What's say about 5 to 10 millimeters thick, but spanning it's about 1.5 inches long. And you kind of look it over, and you can see on the end that's away from the branch, it does actually kind of emanate a little bit like a light bulb. So you kind of tear off a couple of those, and as you're about to leave, you can see under a denser vegetation, a little bit of a denser vegetation, there seems to be some kind of inverted mushroom cap that tips over, and you can see a couple small filaments coming out of it, similarly to a flower, but still distinctly mushroom and aesthetic. And you kick a quick pluck and pull off one of those.
I'm gonna call you Gus.
John.
Yes.
Could I grab like a bud or two or something that looks particularly weird? And like a cloth or something?
Give me a nature check.
Cool. I'm totally great at those.
It's just out of curiosity, does BB make their own supplies for their services?
For the embalming fluid, yeah, but you would have stocked up in one of the villages on the way into Trustfell, so you're still pretty solid.
Just making sure. Thank you.
30-20.
30-20. While you don't see that, and you kind of see Six kind of meandering through a couple of the hedgerows, and as you watch the other two start making their way towards the cave, almost as you're kind of walking up, you kind of look towards the cave and look towards your friends, and almost surrounded by the dark void of the cave in the distance, there is a small little bush down at the bottom that almost kind of looks like it's an inverted palm tree, but rather than it being the long trunk of the tree, it's a long, thin bit of vegetation, and begins to spiral and hook into itself near the top. That's a little bit thicker and has kind of like a fuzz on top.
That almost
and
kind
you
of
can-
looks like a pineapple, doesn't it?
A little, but I'm not really here to try eating it. I'm going to see if I can make a deal with somebody with it.
Fair enough.
Okay. And you go ahead and collect that for yourself with your
And it goes
little.
into the boob.
So yeah, you've seen this a couple times. Six, her pulling off a couple, some coins and paper. Nothing really intriguing, but you just see her take essentially a pineapple and stuff it into her cleavage, and it disappears.
You know, I can't even say I'm surprised at this point.
Oh, right. I haven't really done something that big in front of you. It's like a pocket dimension. You can try and stick your arm in there if you want. It will come out unharmed.
Right. I'm good, I think. Listen, I'm not trying to catch a case.
I invited you to do it.
Oh, well, yeah, I know, but there's no witnesses, and I mean, someone could walk up at any time. It could look really weird.
6, honey,
What?
you are perfectly fine. I have no issues with you. If you touched my boob, I might like it. You never know. Anyway, let's get to this cave.
Yeah, right. Cave.
As the four of you approach the cave, and very obviously enough over here, you can see that whatever happened last night, it's clearly, in a way, been undone to an extent. There's still the dying vegetation near the mouth of the cave, but it looks as almost the vegetation that's now sprouted here rebelling against it, pushing it back in. You can see even further in, 15, 20 feet before it gets too dark, you can see small, thin, black varicose-like vines that almost feel like veins and look like flesh. Go ahead and give me investigation checks.
Oh boy.
BB's gonna take their shovel while they're investigating, or their spade, and just kind of like stick it in the ground like you're cutting a root with a spade.
Okay.
My dice love me.
That was a natural 20, and that was in what, investigation?
Yep.
Oh,
Mhm.
30.
30.
Dirty 20.
Okay. 30, dirty 20.
Who got the 30? Hold on.
Everybody got a natural 30.
Everybody got 30.
Jesus.
Liz, 6.
It's investigation.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are we investigating?
The cave.
Mouth of the cave.
14.
12.
14 and
Oh.
12.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was holding my breath, hoping I didn't get like a natural 2.
Simply enough, even for you, 6, now that you've been traveling with these magic users, you feel you yourself actually are able to start picking up on this little bit of lingering magic that's in the area, and all of you catch on this. There's definitely something magical going on here coming from the cave. BB, however, as you kind of sink your spade into the ground, and you kind of focus, you almost immediately look to the edge of the mouth of the cave, and you see some kind of runes, not carved in, but it's almost like there's just faintly glowing, something residual from years ago.
Baby's gonna take a quick note. Sketch it out real quick. And mention it to, well, I guess they're just gonna say runes and a painted third.
Okay.
But they're gonna go ahead and like jot down a rough sketch of each one if they can.
Yeah. Go ahead and for the three of you that want to look into it, of the three that remain, go ahead and give me Arcana checks at advantage.
Who die?
Wait, of the three that remain.
Me,
Yeah,
Liz, and Burgundy.
yeah, you,
So
Liz,
that's four.
and Ruby. If you don't want to do the check, you don't have to do the check. But you can try.
It doesn't. I actually kind of want to try to see if that, how funny this is gonna be.
What kind of check was it again?
Arcana at advantage for all of you.
Arcana?
Oh, at advantage.
19. Yes. Oh. Oh, honey.
What'd you get?
That might be a magic thing, I think.
Oh no!
I got a dirty 20.
I got a 6.
Oh, honey.
Sense though.
You got a 6?
At advantage, yes. The lower one was a 4.
Oh my god!
I got a 12 and an
makes sense,
18, and
though,
I have
for
a plus
six.
1.
It does make sense. It does make sense for 6. So I
Yeah.
really don't mind.
I got a
that
dirty
being said,
20.
That being said, 6, you definitely correctly identify this as something magical. You've been getting exposed to these runes and almost on an assumption in your kind of blunt personality, like, yeah, that's definitely something magical, and you kind of dismiss it. But the two of you, and Bird Buddy, you check onto this as well as you're sketching the runes. There's actually 2 sets. One that appears to be very old, that you recognize, at least lingeringly scrawled into it. You recognize it as deep speech. And the outer one, the one closest to the actual mouth of the cave, it's Sylvan. And BB, you recognize that these Sylvan runes were imbued, when they were marked, with blood.
And I read what the Sylvan runes specifically say.
See here. While you can picture out each of the individual runes, I'm not going to list it, but if you want to determine some kind of use for these runes, or what the intent might have been, go ahead and give me, I would say, another investigation.
Do I get
Or-
advantage because I know Sylvan?
Yes.
Investigation, you said?
Mhm.
19.
19.
Rolling. It's 2 18s.
1 second. Now you recognize it as, you see Sylvan, you see words like here, home, through,
Through or
as you kind of
grew?
through, THROUGH.
Thank you.
And it's the assortment that in kind of your study, you remember seeing this into being a higher level conjuration spell, but it seems to be almost inverted on the intent.
So to reverse the effects of conjuring something,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Quickly,
Ruby will share this with the group.
when Ruby shares that, BB's gonna send the Raven to collect Iris and the
Okay.
baby is specifically going to have like say deep speech rune.
I,
Okay.
I didn't want Iris here while we
Oh,
investigate this cave.
fair enough.
6, go ahead and give me one investigation check. What are you looking for? Because you did dismiss these runes, so you would just kind of strut through as you guys are figuring it out.
So when we were fighting the mind flayer, and we had the whole like cinematic of Iris's like backstory here.
Hmm.
Was that
Hmm.
something that we saw?
You as everyone as the party would have had flashes of it,
Okay.
somewhat out of context.
I'm looking for Iris's mom.
Give me investigation.
God, I fucking suck with intelligence shit.
Can I help her?
You
Can I?
you are working. You would with your checks. This would be during your investigation of the runes, unfortunately.
Okay.
Just tell me if it's bad, and if it's bad, you can have a reroll, Angel.
Well, it wasn't. That's an 18.
Oh, 18.
Oh,
Oh, all right. Yeah, as you can dismiss these runes, you see, Bird Buddy quickly scribbling down in some scrap parchment. You see Jesus, Liz
lose.
and I'm sorry, Liz. You see Liz and Ruby.
Lose.
Kind of understandable considering your first 2 syllables. Anyway, um, you watch the 2 of them begin to investigate the runes near the outer portion of this the cave, and you can kind of just strut through, not a care in the world, at least without your intent of wanting to make sure Iris's mom wasn't nearby. And you get a fair bit in, 50, 100, closer to like 120 feet, and you see very faintly, with a little bit of light that reaches this far, the cave does extend further down into the left. But you don't see Iris's mom within that first span. Will and Iris, a very familiar raven is summoning you with deep speech, deep speech.
Deep speech.
They must have found
And
something.
yep, starts booking it right back north.
Uh-huh.
If you need to run ahead, go ahead. I'll be there.
All right. Will is conflicted because he didn't want to leave Iris behind, but if she's saying this, he stands still for a bit, but then just bolts it to see what's going on.
Okay.
Mm.
As you run ahead, you kind of look back and you see Iris kind of working her way through the hedgerows here and there, plucking some things of interest, but you can't quite make it out in this distance. But ultimately, all of you and 6, you double back after your investigation and hearing BB telling the Raven to go summon the others. That you're all back at the mouth of the cave.
So before Iris at least gets there, I'll let them know it's like, hey, I took a little walk, into the cavern, but with what we saw last night, I wanted to make sure that we weren't going into like a fight with an infested Mama Iris, because that would absolutely destroy her.
Yes, that's a good idea.
I didn't go all the way in, but for the first, I don't know, 100 feet or so, I didn't see anything. But
Did you feel like you were being watched or anything?
Did I?
Nope.
Not really, no.
That's good.
Why?
And that means nothing's in the cave.
Well,
Hopefully.
yeah, I suppose so. Did you guys figure out what this chicken scratch means?
So, I only understand the Sylvan half of it. The other half is deep speech, apparently.
Deep.
So, from my half, I can tell that it's like an inverse conjuring. Like it's meant to stop something from appearing.
So like it's a fuck off
Banishment.
message. Got it.
Kind of.
Yeah, we usually leave those all the time back of the webs.
Well, this one's more magic in nature.
I mean, yeah, I suppose so. Horse head in the bed's a pretty magical message, if you ask me.
Why a horse head?
It was a message.
That poor horse.
It was already dead.
Oh, well. Fair enough.
It just wasn't a few moments before.
You're not earning yourself brownie points.
Oh, brownies sound so good.
Iris, as you finish meandering amongst your, in a way, new hedgerows, and start making your way to the cave. This is the first time you've been back here since then. I need a wisdom save from you. At disadvantage.
I bet. Oh, that's cocked. That is a 12.
Well, okay. As you approach, you you get a mix of energy. It's that same fear of this cave having now reappeared. But at the same time, with your lands now having grown, you've grown. You get a quick couple flashes of a memory. Two. You remember being at this cave when you were 6, 7? Your mom pricking her finger and pricking yours as she kind of muttered a Torshavan something in Torshavan, a different incantation. And she would show you how to make these runes. And then you get another memory from the day you finally got out. That fear, that darkness that had been reaching out. These strangers that were allies to your mom, your father, your mom, and getting your wand. And you get the last little bit of moments from that time of the two strangers casting blood magic for Shavan incantation with Sylvan runes, different from the cave. And all 4 of them disappeared from the space. What is that?
Oh, what is that in the
What is
background?
that?
Sorry.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry. That was a real. That was a tiny little bit distracting. So you're saying her mom, her dad, and the 2 people disappeared.
Yeah, they muttered some kind of incantation to leave moments after you guys had escaped, and your father had given you your wand. But you and your mom made the blood runes that they're pointing out.
And I haven't reached the ruins yet, have I? Or am I there now with them?
You could recognize that they're picking out the same spots that you would draw your little symbols in your own blood.
She kind of hurries over, but slows the last couple of steps. It's like, those are mine and Mom's runes.
Oh.
Do I remember what she said they were for?
Give me an intelligence check for that far back.
Yep. That's a 17.
17. You remember talks of a passage. Could have been the cave. But what you remember regarding these runes as, she described it as a doorway between rooms.
It's the door. It's a passageway room.
Yeah,
I think.
It's a cave.
No.
Not to the cave.
And this is why I don't deal in magic.
Okay.
It's a hidden entrance. It's essentially, apparently, from what I'm getting from Iris, is the runes come together to make a door to somewhere other than the cave.
Right.
Instead of opening the door to what would be a normal house, you open the door and it's a hidden lair. The door changes where the location goes.
Oh, like how our room was like behind a bookcase.
Basically, but magic. So you can turn the regular door into the bookcase that leads to the right place.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I get that. Alright, so how do we turn the cave into a bookcase?
I love this cave.
Room.
Is Will nearby at this point?
Yeah, you're all at the mouth of the cave.
BB shows Will the deep speech parts that they recorded. And says deep speech. And then points to the cave.
I kneel down a bit. Like I hunch over a bit to look at it, the writings of the runes on their paper better.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Just because it's funny, this is the backside of the sketch that BB did. Way back at the beginning.
Bird buddy.
Well, he wouldn't know. He's not saying that.
Exactly.
Oh, natural 29.
Natural 29.
Oh.
As you take out your notes and sprawl them out in a more confined version of your conspiracy wall when you were younger. Kind of lay them all out, put a couple little pebbles down to hold them in place. And you hear Iris kind of listen in, speaking of a passage. And you immediately, almost on instinct, grab one of the pages and run up to the deep speech runes in the cave.
Is it a match?
It is a match, and with that investigation check, with how much you had been studying, you can tell that, at least for however briefly, it was the intent for the deep speech runes to open the passage, but it seems to have not been permanent. Might have failed, might have just been for a brief couple seconds.
Fuck.
This is a really complicated doorknob.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
So Will explains what the old runes are. It's like, so if those ones, and he's pointing to the silver rooms, are to open a passage, it's to replace an old doorknob, essentially. That came apart after being turned once.
Oh, wait, we've got to replace the doorknob? No.
No. These. And he's pointing to the silver runes. We're supposed to last longer than that. And he points to the deep speech runes.
But they didn't. Right? Am I stupid?
Can't answer that.
Okay, so those were supposed to last longer than those. But they didn't, so what now? Where do we go from here?
We're here for a reason.
Six, did you see any evidence of the Legion's soldiers that didn't make it when you looked inside?
I didn't go all the way in. I only went in about 100 feet or so. There wasn't anything in there. But it does go further back, so I mean, I guess we'd have to go in.
I don't really feel like disappearing and never coming back.
I mean, eventually
do you
you'll come
think they
back.
would've... Yeah.
I did.
Do you think they opened the door, or do you think they just got disappeared in the cave? In the cave. She sounds like she's having trouble even saying the cave at this point.
Well, well, if I've learned anything about, soldiers, they're fucking stupid. If there's a door that they want in, they're gonna find a way to open it. I don't know much about, I guess, the Legion. Honestly, I don't know anything about them. Except they're kind of pussies. No offense, Will, but, your buddy definitely should have shot me. At least at me. Honestly, if they wanted to get into a door, they would have found a way to get into it. So, I'm saying a hard maybe. Maybe?
Well, weren't we here looking for someone's brother?
Yeah, we were looking for Cyrus's older brother.
He wasn't a volunteer, though.
Yeah, his name wasn't on the list.
Yeah, he wasn't on the list, so the information that I've got comes directly from him in a letter that he sent to Cyrus, but I haven't seen any sort of sign of him being here. Not that I even know what I'm looking for. I just have a vague description. That's about it.
What did his letter say?
I don't know. He said he was coming up north, and, well, this is sort of north. I assumed he came out this way, so I'm just looking.
He could be in Torshavn.
I mean, he could be. I don't really know much of the geography out here. I mean, it's not like we have maps or schools and prison.
I would like to see that letter later, and maybe I can help you a little.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to go back to Trustville for that. I didn't exactly bring it with me.
And that's perfectly all right. I can wait until
I'm
then.
not gonna take the one thing that this kid has of his brother.
We're not taking it.
I-
We're just.
I-
I want to.
I know. I'm just kind of like pointing out. I was like, this is why I didn't take the letter as the one thing that Cyrus has of his brother.
Oh, fair enough. Okay then. Do we want to try and enter this room?
Fuck yeah, I do.
Okay, and then what if we can't come back from the room?
Punch your way out.
That's not how magic works, Six.
Magic our way out.
That's also not how magic works.
I beg to disagree.
I think they opened the door with a type of blood magic, but I don't know it. I remember they disappeared. My mom and dad and the two that rescued us.
Wait. Hang on. Doesn't the bird do blood magic?
I think her blood magic may be different. I'm not too.
There's different kinds
know.
of blood magic. No.
Bird buddy?
Bird buddy just kind of waddles up.
Is what you do blood magic?
Bird buddy just raises their book. Friend.
Well, we have a choice. Either we go in the cave or we try to pry open something that's shut.
Alright. Little buddy Iris seems to think that the cave... Iris seems to think that the cave has been sealed with blood magic. I don't know what that entails, but I know that you pricked my finger last time I wanted to take a look in your book. And along with everybody else's too, so...
Not me.
2 and 2.
If everybody goes up to look at it further, Dim, is there anything that's familiar
Uh,
that can be replicated?
with that check, that you made a while back, the 30. As you finish up the notes and help Will kind of gather everything, you make your way up after they call you over, and how do I put this? Whatever this initial intent was from when Iris and her mom did it, that has long been since expired. It at least by a couple years. But as you kind of get closer, you kind of feel a slight tug on your cloak as the raven flutters off and kind of floats in space. And just with a quick look, you can tell it's nervous. And while it's trying to communicate, it answers might lie deeper within the cave, it's not comfortable going in there.
Can I see Skull's reaction, or can I feel Skull's reaction to us going into the cave at the thought of it?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
All right, so the bird's bird didn't want to go in. Ruby, how do your tits feel?
Skull, I'm asking him right now. Insight is 30, 21.
On the just in the present, because you can't quite see exactly where he is since he's kind of taken up a wider berth. You can feel curiosity, but it's recommended a brief one.
Brief as in like run in and get the fuck out, or brief in?
Yeah, go in, and yeah, he's saying if you can kind of feel like if you guys do decide to go in, don't stay long. And you immediately think back to the conversation with the goblins of Baju monsters. Baju.
Skull is of the opinion that we could go inside, but we should probably be swift about it and probably be quiet so we don't draw attention, which I can aid in that.
You want fast or you want quiet? You can't have both.
True. Probably fast.
Fast? All right. Ruby's tits say let's go fast, so let's go fast. And I run in.
Quick. I was gonna while Ruby was talking to what's his face,
Skull.
BB was going to gently call the raven down and say, but their story, pointing to not Ruby, but Iris and Will, and say tied to cave.
It'll nod and kind of like give you a quick little nuzzle of be safe. But it does retract away.
Okay.
Six, I need a dex check from you at disadvantage because you are running headlong into a cave you can't see into.
I follow after 6, but with like a touch more caution.
Hold on.
DM.
Dex check. Yeah.
DMs.
Gotcha.
Iris is
have
going
dark
to
vision.
Iris is going to take out that lantern that they bought and see if there's a reaction, though. But
yes.
1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on.
You are at a run, so 10 feet won't quite help you in this regard because you are rolling a check to see if you don't trip and bust your face.
I mean,
Blind sight is more outside threats, so dex check at disadvantage.
I mean, at the same time, though, like, look how long 10 feet is all around me. Like, that's a pretty decent amount of running space. But fair enough. I'll do it.
I'm aware.
I'll do it. Dex check. Who said?
Yeah, disadvantage.
Okay. Okay. Oh, come on. A 13.
13. Okay, yeah, you don't trip and bust your face. It was gonna be a 5 or lower. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, everybody, you watch Six just haul ass into the fucking cave. So what, you guys following suit?
Yep, I am.
Do I do a composure check?
I would say given the, I would say give me just a straight one, yeah. Not necessarily disadvantage, not necessarily at advantage, because a lot of good and bad has happened to you in the last couple days.
Yeah, but That's a that's an 8.
Ooh.
While you do summon the courage to jog, it's a light one.
Uh, she's clutching the lantern as she's going. It's like, please work, please work, please work.
I'm just going to assume that, like, because I absolutely run faster than everybody else, you just, like, hear my footsteps fade into the distance.
Okay,
I'm back. Sorry. I ended up getting
all
a
good.
call from my ma.
All good. All of you are now heading into the cave to catch you up. Six, go ahead and give me investigation.
Alrighty. Now
Uh,
I've got to reduce the modifier. A 15.
15. Okay. While you can't see anything beyond your spatial awareness, you know that this cave has bad juju. You just fought monsters that at least were believed to have come out of it the night before. As you're kind of running, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. It seems like a cave. But as you get further down, you probably get a good 1,000 feet in, and you are immediately brought to bring yourself to a stop. There is a dense sensation of the same, in a way, fear and energy from the night before, with a lingering scent of blood somewhere ahead of you.
Alright. Once I start smelling the blood, and that's when I'll go sneaky and make my way into at least scout.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Yep, it's just gonna take me a second to get scrolled down.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no, yeah. we could set your phone up with the Roll20 app.
Oh god, that's even worse than this.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
bad.
alright.
Is it though?
Yes, yes it is. Yes it is. But that will be... Come on. It's like lagging for me. Okay, alright, there we go. That is a fucking A, 27. That's a natural 27.
Natural 27. Very nice. As you make your way further in, you can, now that you're at a heightened sense, you know your allies are coming, so you stealth in to get a quick survey. And as you kind of get closer, you round a slight bend before it straightens out, and the cave almost smooths out slightly. Not necessarily carved or chiseled or any kind of structure. But you can see that the rock face very quickly narrows in towards the end of this tunnel to maybe about a foot and a half wide gap, and there is a dull red glow coming from maybe 30 feet 30 to 40 feet beyond it, and you can see a couple bodies, and the scent of decay is now getting closer.
Am I able to see anything else, like, through the crack? Like, is it active in there? Is there anybody in there?
There doesn't appear to be any kind of movement. You would pick up on almost ethereal mumbling in the language you don't know.
I'm kind of
While
like...
this is going, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm kind of like a look back from the way that I came and look back into the glowing room I said it's about like a foot wide gap, right? Like it's enough to just squeeze into.
Yeah, you'd have to do the side kind of squeeze through, and turn on your side step in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about 5 feet between each side of this little breach.
Fuck it. I'm going in.
Okay. Give me another. What check do you want to do? 'Cause as you being stealth your way through sidestep, you sense magic. The mumbling feels like it's growing closer as you're shifting through this little passageway. And you do see more runes.
I think Iris wants to say something real quick.
Iris has been trying to get this lantern to work with trying to pump her magic in. Does that do anything? Sorry. I know
Give
you
me
concentrate on that. You're concentrating
no,
on that, but
no, yeah. Go ahead and give me a straight d20, and then give me an Arcana check. See if you can activate it.
okay. The D20 is a 17.
Okay.
And then the Arcana check. Thank you. High is slightly high intelligence. That's a 16.
16.
Yep.
Okay. So the 17 was to determine how much time had passed as you guys were kind of catching up with 6.
Liz and Bird Buddy hang at the mouth of the cave.
No, yeah. I'm hold on. Because you can, as you guys are heading further in, Iris, you're kind of like trying to get something out of it. And you don't realize that the rest of the group has been getting closer and closer. And 6 in somewhat in the decisiveness of deciding to go in, Iris activates the lamp, and a couple more voices beginning to speak, panicked. Get out of here! Don't be here! And you can see some of the bodies are trying to shift before they settle back down into place.
Do the bodies have
You
any
don't.
sort of identifiers?
With that check amongst the glow, you can see that they're heavily wounded. You can see bright green cloaks, and an ensemble of different types of armors. But there's definitely a distinct there's definitely a distinctly steel armored individual near the back wall where these runes and this deep red glow is coming from, and he is bifurcated at the waist and you don't see his top. And just as quickly as they tried to come to life, they settled again.
Oh, that's
Oh, I
fucked.
the lantern is slightly shaking in Iris's hand.
I'm so sorry. Can somebody catch me up, please?
Um,
Oh,
unbeknownst to the bulk of the party, Iris inadvertently almost brought the dead bodies that 6 has seen back to life to potentially communicate.
And they warned me to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it seemed they almost seem to be at least 6 that you'd be able to see. Yeah, brain. Sorry, I've been having like 3 cans of Coca-Cola. Not sponsored. While there is that panic of you to get the hell out, it almost as to you 6, given what this group was sent out, these legionnaires were sent out to do, they're probably reliving their last moments. So it might not have been a direct warning to you, but it's bad juju.
So is like the few members of my party like to me yet?
Yeah, you would have immediately kind of not necessarily frozen up in fear, but you'd just been like, let me shimmy back out and wait. And you do eventually. The rest of the party does meet up with you.
Okay, so I know Liz was saying that Liz and Bird Buddy were staying at the mouth of the cave, right?
Correct.
Okay. So it's at the moment Iris, Will, and Ruby, correct?
The mouth of the cave or this crack in the earth?
Side.
Liz and BB can't see that far.
Yeah, we
Oh, so
we stayed
so,
we stayed back.
so you two are completely out of the cave.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right. So
Will, the the legion that was sent here, the people.
Yeah.
Right? They're in there in various locations.
I think I can tell what
Okay.
you mean by the smell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And when I'm guessing that magic lantern thing, when that
Yeah.
came on, they got up and then got back down.
Did they say anything?
Get out.
That sounds like a good plan.
I mean, yeah, but we also just killed a pretty nasty thing out there, too.
And Ruby, with her dark vision, not enter the crack, but see through it into the room to see what Six saw.
how many of you want to make this check with Ruby?
Yeah, because I also have dark vision.
I
Okay,
will be right at Ruby's back in case I need to yank her back or something.
Iris, how about you do an active investigation, or are you just kind of meandering?
She is probably going to reluctantly follow. So,
Okay.
yeah,
I'm
just
not.
gonna
I'm
try
not
and-
entering. So
Yeah,
gonna
she's
try-
Alright.
yeah, she's like poking her head into the crack just enough to be able to see, and Six is right behind her. It probably looks kind of suggestive to the outside observer.
All right. So I need
Nervous laughter.
investigation.
24.
So hold on. So Ruby, Iris, you guys are not going through the crack in the wall, correct?
no,
Will,
no.
Will, you are. Okay.
You're going through the crack, Will?
I'm looking
Are
into
you?
it. I'm looking into it, but
Uh,
I am curious if the voice is affected by the bad juju.
Okay. So are you going into the room though? I need that clarification.
No, I'm just taking a peek into it. If Six is too scared to go in there, that's a sure as sign that I shouldn't go in.
Motherfucker, you think I'm scared to go in there? I just didn't want to go in there without my party.
All right. So Will, you said 24, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Iris and Ruby, I need investigation checks from you guys as you kind of just peer through real quick.
Natural 21.
Okay.
Apparently, we're nat 20 buddies. Natural
We're
22.
vision sisters.
Nice. Okay.
Like
So-
hyper sense is going on right now because she is
Oh,
scared.
definitely. Yeah, your fur and hair is bristly. Yeah. So, Will, as you kind of lean in real quick, you guys kind of take a quick each take a quick turn. Will, you kind of lean in. You see the members of the Demon Legion. They definitely had some kind of a fight in this chamber. You can see the same metal-clad individual near the back wall that's missing his upper torso, his waist against the back wall, surrounded in a circle by these runes in blood. With that investigation, you can see that between the three survivors back in Oriakester and the bodies here, you can see weapons. You can kind of account for everything. But however these runes were activated, they definitely didn't do. And that
Can I tell what kind of runes these are?
they are very similar to the ones that were out in the cave, at the mouth of the cave. Very similar. Sylvan, blood magic, were probably used as an incantation in Torshavn. But the runes are, it clearly looks like they were made by somebody else, at least partially, like it was completed.
All right, move aside, kid.
Hold on. And you can tell that these runes were doing the same ones that the deep speech runes and the cave mouth were doing. Their intent is to shut something. You kind of back out and you give Ruby a chance. Ruby, it's gross. Bodies everywhere. You can tell that it's definitely Sylvan runes written in blood. You kind of back out. Iris, as you have been kind of waiting in this area, you turn to even go through, and you see the red glow. You see the bodies. But for you, the wall continues on, almost as if the runes are allowing you to see past it. And there are stalactites and the familiar blackened flesh, eerie green light deeper. A couple shadowy figures are kind of moving past large hulking beasts that you can't quite make out. There's one further back up in the top that's almost floating, kind of keeping an eye on the situation. It looks like it has some kind of a face, but it's moving almost like a jellyfish with long, wide wings. And staring back at you is a mind flayer, but it doesn't see you. And you immediately just kind of duck back out.
Yeah, she jumps back out.
Let's leave the cave and then you explain what you just saw. That feels like a safe option.
Sprints.
Don't we need to get their badges?
What was that, Six?
Don't we need to get their badges?
They're dead. I don't want to go in there, and she just bolted.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry, Will.
I didn't even know them. Except for one.
The only one I'd feel comfortable doing it with the magic hand, that's Iris, and she is gone, and we probably need to get out of here. It's about that time.
Your patron did say just a quick look and then get out.
Yeah, I'm still kind of indecisive on it. Like, I at least want to get their badges. A bit of closure for their families.
I'm aware, but this is as much as I would love to, this is a matter of our own lives right now.
Will, wisdom save.
Okay.
we won't be able to do anything for them if we're dead.
7.
7. As you say that, Ruby, Will gives you a brief look, and there's an intense flicker of orange from his eyes. And before you even respond, before you even think about responding to what she says, you hear your own voice come out of your throat. Because I can't kill what killed them doesn't mean we should leave empty-handed. And he walks into the cave, into the room.
I follow in
smiling.
I follow in to support him.
Is he smiling?
He's pissed off. He's not smiling, which is probably worse.
Fair enough.
I'm at your back, kid.
Will, you hear that from 6, and you find yourself in this room. The back wall is stone. There's very advanced blood magic written in Sylvan as a means of protection. Go ahead and give me stealth checks, you two.
Can I give them both, since they're within, I'm assuming this is within 30 feet of me, can I do pass without a trace for both of them? And me?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I got a 23. But thank you.
Plus
So,
10 to
all right.
both of you.
All right, 33 for
then.
Will.
We both got a 33.
Nice.
Should I roll 2 or no?
Yes.
Okay. $15 plus, what's my stealth? 16. That's 26.
26, okay. As the two of you make your way through, that intense, that light mumbling of some language neither of you two can speak. It's very loud, almost as if someone's speaking right near you. Maybe 30 to 40 feet from when you actually make your way into it, and it gets louder as you get closer to the back wall. You move amongst the bodies, you grab each of the pins, and you make your way back out.
Alright. I got him. You go first. Get out of here.
Will not then. Was about to head out, but he places the bottle of alcohol down on the ground and then proceeds to go.
Nice touch.
He nods and proceeds to walk as he pulls up his hood.
All right. As the three of you start making your way out of the cave, Liz and Bird Buddy, you are amongst minor chit chat. Your sentinel has kept its eye on the cave the entire time, and you immediately hear footsteps as Iris bolts out of the cave and hugs you, Liz.
Iris, is everything okay?
I saw them. I
What
saw them. I saw them.
It's okay. It's okay. What did you see? I'm also like petting where her ears are, celebrating a little bit internally.
Give me give me a wisdom save at advantage, Iris.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's 11.
11. Iris is able to get out. I saw them. There's a brief mention of a mind flare, and at least for a couple minutes, she's trembling uncontrollably, long enough for all of you to meet back at the mouth of the cave. As you see, Iris, as you see the others come out, that relief washes over you.
How
And
big is Iris?
Jeez.
She is 5'10".
Okay.
But
Same
continue.
height as it.
Continue, you guys.
Iris, how willing would Iris be to being picked up at the moment?
He just wants to feel comforted, so she would. She would.
All
not.
right. I have an armful of cat. And I can go ahead and just fully pick up Iris.
Okay.
But I'll go to Liz as she's getting Iris picked up. I've got their badges.
All right. So now
Hey,
that
Pringle,
Yeah. What's up, Will? You got some?
the one that got bisected, was Will able to tell if it got cut off or bitten off?
With your investigation check, you could tell that it was sliced, likely by the activation of the runes.
Okay.
Well, I'll put the new satchel of badges on my belt. Oh, we should probably cover up this cave. It's a grave now.
covering it sounds good. I'm applicable to that.
And we can't just cave it in.
That would make a lot of noise.
Well,
And that would probably worry the goblins, and we don't want to worry the goblins because then they'll start running after us.
but maybe.
Unless we told them.
We should also warn the goblins.
Is there a way that we can just flat out seal this cave?
Can I look for anything to help us seal the cave around us?
Like, one of you
John?
magic people?
I don't have a spell that size. That's too big.
Close
Huh.
it. Close it. You don't need to come in.
I can try and use a force spell to make it cave in on itself if somebody wants to go warn the goblins that we're not jumped.
We can let the goblins know after the fact. This cave needs to be closed off.
Well,
Okay.
they know it's bad juju anyway.
Is there like a cliff face over the edge of the cave? Like, does it come over the edge of the entrance?
Not quite. It's mostly flat and actually kind of leads towards, like, back towards the cave. Like it's in a way a very steep slope. You can give me an investigation on the inside of the cave. See if there's any potential cracks you can exploit. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just kind of get... Okay, so everybody back up. I don't want you getting caught up in the rock slide. I will try my best.
Well, does so.
Phoebe is going to quickly interject and say, what's stopping rune travel if collapse?
We could smear the rooms.
Yeah, if somebody wants to get some, like, mud or ink, that'd be good.
I can take care of the runes. That's easy.
Okay. For now, let's deal with the cave, and then we'll do the runes. They also might break when we collapse the cave, so we'll see. 15 plus 1 for investigation for a crack.
15. There are a couple
No,
cracks.
16. 16, sorry.
16. There are a couple cracks. It might require a couple hits of force damage. It seems feasible.
Okay. Ruby will stand back at a safe distance and ready to run the fuck away in case it goes a little bit farther than she intends it to. And she'll start Eldritch blasting it.
Okay. I'm assuming everybody else is a decent way away from the cave. Ruby,
Yep.
how far away from the mouth of the cave are you going to be? Because the cracks are about 40 feet in.
Minimal safe distance.
Okay.
Hang on. So I can use Eldritch Blast up to 120 feet. So as safe as the distance I can get while being, and then I can run 30, right? Yeah, I can run 35 feet. So probably to the point where I can run out really easily if I need to.
Okay. I still need a number.
Oh, fuck you.
Because you got a range of 120. The cracks are 40 feet from the mouth, and you
With-
don't know what those runes are going to do if they are severed.
So with, oh, okay. Shit. How far until I can't see the cracks anymore?
You have dark vision.
Mm-hmm. And
I
I
would
have a
say.
torch, so I can light up that area.
Okay, so you're gonna leave a torch in the cave to kind
Yeah.
of light it up and make your vision. Yeah, you could probably do the
Mhm.
120 feet then.
For the sake of
Okay.
brevity, minimum safe distance to be able to actually see something and collapse the cave.
Yeah. No, there's a reason I was asking for the number. But yeah, if you're gonna leave a torch in the cave, you can hit them at the 120 foot range.
Yeah, I've got 10 torches. So, yeah, I will stand back a couple feet from the cave.
Okay.
And then I will start, like, from the entrance of the cave with the torch, lighting it, obviously. And I will start hitting where I saw the cracks.
All right, go ahead and give me however many attack rolls you are comfortable with your Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast got attack roll, I think? Yeah, they were, aren't they? Yep.
Yeah, spell attacks.
I'm gonna go ahead and just do. Okay, so one was a 5, so one misses. So 5 plus 5, that's 10. Then 18 plus 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's dirty 23. The other one's a 16, so that's 3. I'm shooting 3 right now.
Okay.
16 plus 5, 1, 2, 3, 5. That's a dirty 21.
Dirty 21. Okay.
So 2 hit and 1 misses.
Okay. Luckily, you are making attack rolls against a cliff wall. It can't really move, so the 10 does hit. So go ahead and roll damage for all 3 and double it.
Double.
Eldritch Blast is a 10. Good thing I have 4 10s, 4 d10s pulled out already. 4, that's 8, 36 damage.
36. Okay. So doubled to, or is that doubled? Yeah.
Yeah, that's double. It's 18, and then I doubled it to 36.
Okay. So with the rest of you backing up and giving Ruby a wide berth, she steps back to 60, 75, 80 feet from the mouth of the cave, just enough to see the torchlight in the cracks. And as she launches a barrage of Eldritch blasts into the cave, it peppers up. You feel the vibrations of the impact as the cracks and debris begin to fall. And for the briefest of moments, Ruby, you begin to worry if it wasn't enough before there's a slight light green flash that you see. For the mouth of the cave begins to crumble, and you watch as very faint pops from the runes begin to add to the explosion as you all watch the cliff collapse in on itself and shut the cave. And as you see these runes pop off, Ruby, a little bit of worry creeps into your mind of what you saw further in. And Skull's voice enters your head. Well, that's interesting. I'll explain later.
Thank you. All right. Cave is sealed? So we should be good. And Skull said something was interesting, so I get to talk to him later. Yay.
I will never understand how it is that you talk to your tits. But let's get the fuck out of here.
He's not in my tits. He's my god.
Right.
Yes.
I need a bath. Can we go back to Oria?
A bath sounds wonderful. We could try the lake here. Maybe.
I'm not against it, but I'd really like to just have like a nice hot bath. I'm ready to get back to town, guys. We've done what we came here for. Right? We've found the legionnaires that were sent over here. We investigated the tavern. There wasn't anything else, was there?
Not that I can think of.
I try to think if we missed anything.
No, based on what you were tasked out to do, Will, everything's checked off. You found, you learned the fate of the teeming legions. You got proof of their passing. The cave is shut, near as you can tell. Goblins aren't a threat and actually want to be political and strike a deal of some kind with Ravenstar, it seems. So
yeah, let's
Yeah,
leave these
let's go
goblins to
back.
their celebration. They've got a baby on the way. It's kind of amazing. Let's go.
Several babies.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right.
okay.
Let's go get the axe beaks and get back to town.
Yeah.
Ruby,
All right.
can Ruby send a message to Ravenstar with sending?
Was sending? Sure. What message do you say? Because sending allows a response, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it does. So does message. But I get more range with sending, and I get 25 words. So, somebody count me.
I'll count.
Hello, Lieutenant Ravenstar. We are still alive. We've managed to find the dead people. Sorry. The goblins wish to have a discussion with you. When we come back, we'll explain a little
You're
bit more.
done.
Yeah.
And we're done.
Yeah, I mean, like you were done at come.
Oh.
So yeah.
That's so fitting.
I stop at the word come.
Okay. As you cast sending, you watch the cliff as you guys are beginning to walk away. You send this message, and you can see your ethereal butterfly as you send message just disappears in a streak of light, just gone. And you wait a moment. Well, I'm glad the goblins are trying to come to an agreement. Try to be more, how do I put this? Caring about my soldiers, please. See you soon. And then the message just cuts off.
Oh, I'm already in love.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
In the message, there was a tension in his voice. But yeah, I need. Let's say it's midday, so the rest of this half day will be uneventful. So you guys can bed down for one night, and then we'll have one day of a quick little random event.
Okay.
And then we fast travel?
It's a day and a half. It's roughly 2 days to
Mm.
Oriakester, and I highly doubt one random event is going to pull up combat. So, yeah, we'll do this last little random event roll to Oriakester. We'll
Alrighty.
finish up in Oriakester and continue. So,
Alright.
I knocked on wood, so we're good.
I'll roll it. What am I rolling?
we'll handle you guys' bed downing conversations and roleplay.
Oh, I'm
First.
good.
Hey,
I am down to
look at
fast
no
travel.
Mike. For Pringle.
Pringle.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm checking.
Iris has to go.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yep. So give me a little bit more roleplay, guys, because I'm trying to figure out where the hell you guys are gonna be going once you guys get back to Oriakester. So bed down stuff.
Okay.
Did I actually? Okay, question. Do I remember walking into the crack, or did I black out again?
You only remember. Ruby had for like a brief half second. There was a gap, and Ruby was almost shocked as you kind of turned and just strutted in. You don't know what you said to her.
Okay. That's all I want.
Maybe we'll take last watch.
Yeah. Ruby's gonna take first watch.
I'll take last watch with BB.
I'll go with second watch.
I guess I'll take
Lit-
first watch with Ruby.
All right.
Hey.
Iris will stay in the cart for the time being and deal. God, I hate putting it like that. Yeah. Liz and Ruby, you're up.
I'm just taking care of the fire after dinner.
Ruby is. I imagine she could find like an undamaged bucket somewhere, right?
Yeah, if anything, BB probably has one because BB just collects shit.
Cool. Can I just start washing the cloak and like
Yeah.
investigating it?
You're gonna wash Lorcas's cloak.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
18.
18. Okay. As you begin to wash and getting the blood off of it, you can just watch Liz prod at the fire and keep it going and tidying up dinner. The others bed down. You get the blood off, and while the fabric itself is just eggshell white, it's a very, very heavy amount of stitching, almost unnecessarily, with fine thread that gives it that slight opalescent sheen to it. I'm sorry, what was the investigation check? Apologies.
To
Yeah, what was the
see,
number?
see
Yeah,
if... Oh, 18.
18. You do sense a little bit of magic. Fairly mundane, but
Can I see
maybe
what
some
it
kind.
does?
It's an illusion. Some kind of an illusion magic.
I put the cloak on.
Put the cloak on. Okay. Liz, composure check, please.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's an 18.
18. Okay. As you kind of react to the fire, you actually, because you got an 18, luck is on your side. And as you watch Ruby throw this cloak on it and She throws this cloak on and waits. After about 15, 20 minutes, nothing seems to be happening until you watch everything from her neck down disappear. And it's just her head floating in space.
Oh my god!
I'm going to set
Oh,
up
I
a quick prayer to Azuth as I realize that it's an invisibility cloak, and and now Ruby has it.
Yep, and as you, for the sake of information, it'll grant you invisibility for 30 minutes at no cost.
Question: does the invisibility is it greater invisibility or just invisibility?
Regular invisibility, rather mundane, not necessarily perfected.
So if she attacks, it'll stop.
Uh-huh.
I've become a whole new problem. Hang on.
Didn't you get that off of Lorcas's body?
Hey, 1 second.
Yeah.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
I got an invisible cloak.
Awesome.
Yeah. I love you. Good
Did
night.
you start the dryer?
Yes. Sorry. Hang on.
Oh, God. Ruby's dad is always.
Yeah, Ruby's side is great.
Oh, Lordy.
Sorry, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay. Did I miss anything?
Oh, we were waiting for you.
Nope, yeah, you're good. So, but yeah, it'll grant you standard invisibility for 30 minutes at no cost, and it's a once-a-day use.
Yes. Ruby just looks slowly over at Liz with the most shit-eating grin.
Didn't you get that from Lorcas's body?
I did.
You don't seem to respect the dead very much.
You only live once. I usually like to go by, and honestly, Lurkus deserved it. He's an asshole to begin with, and it's an invisibility cloak, and it was pretty.
I just kind of let the conversation hang there.
So what about you?
What do you mean?
I mean, you can braid hair, but you don't have any.
Would you like me to comb your hair again?
Yes,
Come sit.
thank you. I would like to know
So-
how you know how.
So, as Ruby says this and sits down, it's just her head floating near your chest.
Please take that
and
off.
and
Fine, she'll take it off. She'll fold it now that it's clean, and she'll stuff it back down in the boobs. Oh. Fucking
Well, first, I knew a couple of people in the church who had hair, so I would help them with their hair when they needed help. And then someone close to me loved their hair. Taught me a lot about taking care of it and other people's hair. Liz is saying this as she's like combing through Ruby's hair to begin braiding it.
I mean, it's sweet of you to learn.
It's also a little selfish. I've always wanted hair.
Now they make wigs, although it would be weird to see a dragonborn with a wig.
And you can't really do the things you do with hair with a wig.
True. So, can I ask about the whole wanting to send a letter into the kiln thing?
There's someone important in there that I haven't been able to talk to in a little bit.
I mean, I figured it was important since you were willing to make a deal with the magistrate.
Well, I'm always one for deals. Secret for a secret.
What do you want to know?
That's up to you. What do you think learning about what's in the kiln is worth?
Hmm. I have a lot of secrets.
You hear Skull chuckling a little.
One of them's currently laughing at me.
Liz just continues braiding her hair in silence.
I run a tavern back at home.
Where at?
Airturth.
That's hardly worth it. As she says as she finishes braiding Ruby's hair. I'm gonna go walk around camp.
It's near Stonegate. It's right near the middle.
Okay, it's a tavern. There are plenty of those near Earth.
Hmm. Go have your little walk around then. I'll be talking to Skull, so you see me talking to myself. It's just him.
Okay.
Liz, go ahead and give me a perception check and just let me know what you get. And
Ugh. Hang on. Where's my perception? Where's perception? 12?
okay. As you watch Liz go out and do a quick patrol, you feel the slight weight on your shoulder, Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting too. More and more, feels like she's becoming the odd one. Freckles, and you look and you see the butterfly.
Or a
So
group
about,
full of weirdos.
well, at the very least, they could take the fall for you if we have to get out of Dodge. But
I fear 6 would kill me.
she'd probably want to use them as a scapegoat too, to be honest. But about earlier, I
Yes.
fluttered around for a little bit. trying to think before you had sent that sending, and something doesn't add up. The runes deeper in, they're still intact. I think somebody was with the Legion.
Like somebody joined them?
Joined them, came to
And
their
then
aid.
betrayed them.
Based on what I saw, it looked like most of them had already bid it, and they might have been the one to finish those runes. As grave of an incident as it is, they did the right thing.
I don't know what made Iris react like that, but I find myself agreeing with you.
That's rare. But I'm glad you made it out safe.
I am too. But we shouldn't need to worry about it if the outer ones are not touched?
No, whoever made the ones further in, they were reestablishing that door.
That's good. That's good. We'll have to figure out if we can find who did it.
One in a million.
I'm not using them for a scapegoat.
It would be fun. And he kind of chuckles and flutters off. And as you just kind of...
No, it wouldn't be fun.
No, it wouldn't. They seem nice. In fact, and as you kind of watching this butterfly, still ethereally glowing, even in the distance, unbeknownst to Liz, he shoos off some wolves that are kind of skulking nearby. But your watch goes by smoothly, so we jump to Will.
Okay. My turn.
Quick reminder.
Ruby's not the one to wake him up this time.
Doesn't matter.
Just quick reminder, John. The Sentinel does not sleep.
Yep.
So
Liz
Okay.
Liz wakes up Will, just with a shake to his shoulders.
my turn already.
Mm-hmm. You're
All
alone
right.
tonight, unfortunately.
No, I get it. I hope she'll be okay.
Wake me if you need anything. My tail will be outside the tent.
Yeah, I'll give you a kick.
Liz will
So
go lay down after that. Unless Will was asking her a question.
no, he wasn't.
Okay.
All right. Well, what are
So
you doing in your lonesome?
he's just watching over the girls, and as he thinks about all the shit that's been happening since his arrival to Oriakester, he actually finally had enough. He's just thinking to himself, seriously, what are you? You've spoken in my head, you've taken over my body twice. Who are you?
Give me a persuasion check.
Natural 22.
Natural 22, okay. As you are questioning this, whatever this entity is, you kind of get up, walk around, surveying the situation. The girls are sleeping soundly. Animals are perfectly fine. You'd see that out of habit, Liz would set out in a way, a makeshift wash basin. After cleaning out a pot, she would get fresh water into it, and it would be a way for you guys to freshen up a little bit, keep yourselves alert with cool water. And you kind of grab some, splash into your face, and look down at the rippling water. And you see yourself. Your hair's wet, but your eyes are glowing orange, and you're reflecting subtly. Nothing more than a weapon of your own creation. And it tilts its head away from you before disappearing. And your reflection goes back to normal.
Will just ponders about it as he continues his patrol.
Okay.
Just a weapon. Like, he gets that this is his fault. He should have listened to Octavia and Drada, but he's in too deep. He's getting closer to the truth. Of course, something like this would be a consequence. But why stop now?
Go ahead and give me perception at disadvantage for your watch.
Okay. You said perception?
Yep, perception at disadvantage.
Okay. Wait. Perception. 17.
17. Okay. Now, let me do a quick roll. Okay. As you look around amongst the space and contemplate everything, watch goes fine, but that need for answers somewhere deep inside yourself, everything that you've strived to be. You think of what you used to do, rather mundane, but it's a good way to gather information and start your research. And for the briefest of moments, that, in a way, old you burns with that same need again. But your watch goes by fine, and you can wake up Vixen Bird Buddy.
So, he goes to wake up Bird Buddy first. So, hey, Bird Buddy.
Everybody's up, getting up slowly.
And then he approaches 6 and he just kneels he just kneels next to her, says, like, one little tap on the shoulders, like, you're up.
Yep, I'm up.
Good night, you two.
Night, kid.
He then lays down and goes back to sleep, still thinking about everything.
Okay. All right, 6. BB, what you got?
I'm gonna go sit across from BB. And just kind of, it's no words spoken. It's, conversation is difficult when the other person in the conversation mostly mimics. So, 6 pulls out her knife and just puts the blade against her hand, and then glances down at BB's book.
BB is going to pet Raven Friend before sending it off to like circle about no more than like 90 feet away, kind of
Okay.
like circling. And going to pull up book.
Okay.
Gleefully pull out book and because it's being offered.
And she's just like, 6 will take a second. Kind of get the person in mind that she wants to see. And just slowly draw the blade over her skin. Just enough to draw enough blood. And put her hand on the page. Could use some advice, old man.
Do I need to do anything?
1 second. Let me. Question for you, 6. In your difficulties to communicate with this mimicking bird, would you have mentioned Iris's use of the lamp?
No.
No.
No, she ended up asking several days ago. He was on our way to Rimbark's Rest. If the book can be used to communicate with or see the dead.
Okay.
And after, experiencing what they did at the Rest, 6 needs to see her old man. She needs to see her dad.
Okay. So, as you give me a persuasion check.
I'm not great at those. I think it's just a straight roll. Yeah, it's just a straight roll. One sec. It's a 15.
Okay. As you offer the book out, Bird Buddy, you watch 6 cut into her hand slightly and smear her blood across the page. And with your connection, in a way, your faith, your curiosity of your deity, you know that it seems something about this book is interested in Six. And you sense this desire, this vulnerable, fucking words.
Vulnerability.
There you go. Way too much soda today, you guys. God. You watch as the blood begins to seep. And Six pulls her hand away and holds it. And you see, in a way, this younger, vulnerable version of Six kind of make itself known, despite how tough and guarded she is. And the two of you watch the blood begin to shift. Not a single word appears, but a series of images, smooth enough in a way to what Six you would see as what you could consider a little bit of video, at least rumored by the wealthier classes of Eartruth and their weave tablets that they pompously wave around. You see a series of images begin to play out of a large burly man gently sparring with a younger girl that clearly looks like Six, but shorter chopped hair to the head. And as they kind of spar, they're smiling, giggling, and as the images kind of shift, the small vision of Six disappears, and Six, you see Odin's face, smiling, warm, slightly bruised from a day of training. And all he does is put his fists up and winks. And the image fades.
He's going to sleep. Do good.
Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna go take a walk. Okay. I'll let you start getting breakfast and stuff ready. I need to be alone.
Maybe just nods.
Okay.
While they're gonna let Six have some space, but they're gonna make sure like the Raven can at least see them or see her from above.
Birdbite, if you're going to make breakfast, go ahead and give me a quick survival check. We won't go into too many details.
Okay.
Six.
Yep.
As you're contemplating everything, go ahead and give me an insight check. Based on what you saw.
$21.
21. Simply enough. It clearly was a memory of his. Memory of yours. Knowing how much death has been around you, at least in this moment, it wouldn't be a shock that someone who follows, in a way, by Death Deity could provide these images. That lingering lack of faith cracks slightly, and you think of all the training you've been doing, and you remember that you've got that tournament later down the line. You pull out the after bandaging up your hand, you pull out the the admission, in a way, the admission form. And you look at the top, it's the hard brawl invitational. Fill out your information. At the bottom, there's a open space that kind of asks for a little bit of backstory. You remember a talk in that fight, that spar that you had with Hosen. What we have to do, it's going to be difficult. You're going to need to find opportunities for those kids. Keep your guard up, but leave nothing unturned. And you flip over the page. And on the back is a wide mix of lines, crisscrossings, no clear, a distinct image. What do you do?
Oh. I'll flatten the page and look at it from the bottom. Like, looking along the surface instead of at the surface.
Okay. Give me an investigation check. I would say
17.
Okay, that works. Very clearly, while this invitational, that that this hard brawl invitational is something that's clearly a sanctioned event, considering the reward. It's clearly a close to the vest event, only letting in the competitors and maybe their friends and someone, people in the wealthier class and in the know. And that's when it hits you that the back of this page is a map, but it's not arranged properly. You recognize it as a fairly basic encryption, but there's also a subtle message, in a way, from the purveyor of this event. How it asks for your story. They want their competitors to be able to turn over a new leaf and leave their past behind. And while it's a painful option for you to compete, you'd have to fill it out and then tear up the image to find the correct layout of the map.
Okay, so I'll return to the camp and begin filling out the story.
Okay.
And then, tear it up and I guess begin trying to puzzle this map together.
All right. Go ahead and give me intelligence check at advantage.
19.
19.
The one before
Nice.
that.
As you
The one before that was an 18.
Ooh.
okay. As
Nice.
you tear into it, as you write everything, you don't go into too many details. You mention your family being betrayed, the loss, the shackles, the hole you were left in. And you mention your confusion about being released. It seems a substantial enough reason, but you mention that as well. You tear it up, put the pieces back together, and after about half an hour, as the smell of food begins to come from the camp, you see that it's actually a map of the eastern docks of Trustfell, and the proverbial X marks the spot seems to be a building a couple blocks north of the orphanage.
I've got a map of Trustfell, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me
I'll pull that out. Cross-reference that.
let's see here. Let me
I
move you
got it,
guys
John,
back.
if you need me to.
No, yeah, I'm good. Neutral zone. Move you guys over to Trustfell real quick. You would recognize it as that building right there. And you would remember it as a church.
Of course it's in a fucking church. Nobody would expect it to be taking place in a church. Okay. And I'll circle the church on my map.
Okay, you circle the church on the map, and you look back to the parchment, and you notice that there's a slight rune that's kind of glowing. What do you do?
Like on the map, there's a rune.
On the map on the back of the admission form, yeah.
I'll take a little bit of the residual blood that's in the bandage and put it on the rune.
Okay. As you confirm your entry, the form mends itself and the rune disappears, as if you never tore it up.
I'll take a look at the back.
Map is jumbled up again.
I'll fold the invitation up and put it back in my jacket.
Huh?
Sorry about that, buddy. I'm back.
Maybe just is happy. Hacks the log.
You need some help with breakfast?
BB got a nat 25. They're making the best that they can.
Oh yeah, it's delicious. It smells divine.
And Torch having coffee on top of it all.
Ooh,
Yeah.
gimme. Oh man, you guys get the best coffee.
And while I do that, BB's just gonna go ahead and, like they did during the fight with the scarecrow,
Mhm.
BB's gonna go ahead and like pet foods, like they did at one point.
Thanks, buddy. I'm okay. I needed to see Dad again. Anytime that I ever had any sort of trouble or anything like that, he was right there. He always had some sort of wisecrack or some piece of advice that I didn't want to hear, but I needed to. I should have listened to him more. But I'm okay. Thanks for checking up on me.
He kind of fluffs up. Like the proud kind of fluff up.
Yeah, yuck it up. Alright, I'll go and wake up the others. It's about time to head out here soon. Oh, hang on. We got a raid. What's up, Yumi? Oh, welcome in, Raiders.
Yumi!
Hey!
I'm Shotgun Sarah, your
Yumi,
gaming
Yumi,
angel and
Yumi.
survival mom. Tonight we are playing D&D. How are you guys doing? How's your stream? I was not expecting a raid tonight. What's up, folks? How you doing? Hello.
It's
Yeah.
a Yumi raid! Everybody run!
To catch you guys up, the party just finished investigating a cave that had been posing a bit of a problem to the local military. They had lost some men. They found the bodies, and resolved the issue with the cave, but there's a lot of questions unanswered revolving blood runes that were written to be in Sylvan. They had a few monsters the night before made it out alive, and they're on their return trip. And Angel's character 6 here just had an emotional moment with their little private friend, the Kenku, reliving a fond memory of training with her adoptive father.
Yeah, we're having
will
a
say-
great session. Like I cried. I had to take a second to sniffle.
Oh,
But yeah,
oh, Angel.
I'm okay. I'm okay. That just tells you exactly how excellent our DM is. Thank you for the raid and thank you for the follow, Sour Patch Kid. I love your name. I love that candy. Literally my favorite. Mwah. Thank you.
Dozens of dollars spent on packs of those each weekend I'm home.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
Worth
I
it.
love my Sour Patch Kids. They're delicious. Yeah, King was in here earlier but didn't want to distract. Yeah, that was a really sad scene. But yeah, thank you for the raid. We gotta get back to it. We don't have a lot of time, but I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah. So let's see. I was getting the rest of the party woken up for breakfast.
Yep. And also to catch up the others that joined, one of our players had to step out. Their character had a bit of a dark reminder of their past and is currently coming to terms with it in the party's cart. So for the sake of brevity for U6, Iris will request food to be brought to the cart, and that's all you get out of her.
Yeah, I can.
She's on the struggle bus.
I can definitely handle that. Out of character, the Iris's player just had to go and take care of some, real life stuff, and they'll be back next week. I'm sure. Well, not next week, but next session.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yep, I am getting the rest of the party up, starting off with first watch and then second watch. So second watch can get a couple more season.
All right. But yeah, you being the way for the
Ruby
others.
is laying on her front, and like one of her boobs is almost out of the bra of holding. Not quite, but
I-
almost.
I'm just gonna kind of chuckle at that and doing the gentlemanly thing, kind of just fix her top for her before waking her up. When I go to wake up Liz, I do so with a nice hot cup of Torshaven coffee.
Yeah.
How bad have my nightmares been since the mimic?
Go ahead and roll me a d20.
D20, cool.
Won't
Into
Phoebe be the one to wake Liz?
1 second to catch up the viewers. They are currently about here on the world map, about a day from the city marked as number 2, Oricaster. But yeah, what's that d20?
It's a 7.
Ooh, not great. You're probably already awake before 6 gets to you. Nothing to
Okay.
like prevent a
Bird
long
Buddy
rest.
has to
Like,
be the one to wait.
Yeah.
Be the one to wake me.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I'll make way for Bird Buddy to go and get Liz.
Okay.
Make way for Birdie Birdie.
Liz is like, you can tell when you touch her tail that she's actually already awake.
BB probably
she-
already knows because of BB's passive. script.
Yeah.
If BB's
She's
just gonna kind of like, I'm here, Belle.
It's a rough night.
I know.
No, you probably heard half the crap I said.
BB just shrugs.
Is that coffee?
They just hand like a very large mug of coffee into the flap of the tent.
You just hear, thank you, Zuth, this still works. Liz comes out after a moment with a shirt on, like properly and stuff.
BB tugs on Liz a little bit.
What's up?
Later. Tell
Okay.
name.
Tell you?
Tell name.
Maybe.
Baby just nods. Understand. And hobbles back to the camp. Like
Liz.
Skip hobbles.
Liz. Liz kind of packs up her things a little bit before heading over. Just getting ready to leave when we get out of here. When we get done with breakfast.
Yeah, it's just make breakfast, eat breakfast, watch people, because I want to work on like understanding people, the whole wisdom thing, and
Okay.
then pack up.
All right. Alrighty. 6. You said you wanted to do a random event, right?
Yep, I'll roll it.
Yep. D4 to start.
Okie dokie.
Let's see
Okay.
here.
3.
Dokie.
3. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d10.
1.
1. About halfway through the day, sun's relatively, the sky's relatively clear. Yeah, sun is approaching noontime. A little bit of cloud cover. There's a nice, cool, gentle breeze, and further in the distance, you can see what looks to be a cart and some figure working on one of the wheels.
Need a hand?
Probably 2. And they stand up, and you can see half elven man nothing particularly intriguing about him. Dark brown hair kind of swept off to the side. Light blue eyes. And as you guys approach, you can see that one of the wheels is cracked, and he's in the process of swapping out a spare. I was heading from Zelensa, and I tried to go through Oriakester, but this morning they had the gates shut.
The gates are shut.
Yeah.
It's
That's
probably due
odd.
to that investigation of the thing we dealt with.
You know, you have a point there.
We can try and help you with your wheel if you'd like.
I can handle this one. This is pretty simple. It's just a wheel change. Here,
Do your
you got your wheel in the back, or?
Yeah, I'll go grab it. And you can see that as he heads to the south side of the cart, because he's clearly, based on what he told you, he probably checked out Oriakester, made his way north, and then was cutting east, and then hit something to crack the wheel. As he comes back around, you can see he's rolling out a fresh cart tire, solid mahogany wood. So whatever you hit must have been intense. And his horse is kind of meandering around the area, stretching its legs.
Can I check the horses to make sure they're not too busted up after whatever he hit?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me animal handling, and we'll come back to you.
All right, I'll lift it up. You bolt it on. Deal.
Yeah, but I got a fair amount of potion ingredients and glassware. You mind? And kind of looks you over. You mind two of you doing it, just in case I take a little bit longer here?
I'll help.
Trust me, she's got it.
I've got
Just
it.
as a backup.
I'm gonna take off my jacket so he can actually see the muscles.
Liz
Well,
just
and
walks
then-
over to
And then
Like
lift the
the-
wheel, like work to lift the wheel onto the lugs.
Liz just kind of goes and stands over by the other side to catch it. She doesn't look like she's paying that much attention.
Oh, well, yeah, if you two want to grab the cart and lift it, I'll need strength checks from you two.
Easy.
You say that. I'm knocking on wood just in case.
Oh, how I wish it was a strength save. Anyway. 16.
Watch the card being made out of adamantine.
21.
Adamantine is rare as hell. As the two of you lift it, he reaches for his tools, grabs the lug off, and pulls off the busted wheel. And almost as soon as he tosses it aside, it falls to pieces. Before grabbing the other one, shifting it, putting it back into place. And he does it relatively quickly with a nice nat 20 tinkering check there.
Nice.
This has happened before, huh?
Yeah, well, trying to forage for herbs over in west of Valenza up in the mountains. Well, there's more than just rocks up there. And he pats the crossbow on his back.
Well, wanted to deal with them nearly as much down here. Where are you off to?
Heading to Tressfell, but I might be able to sell a few wares during the Pluming Winds Festival. From there, might just travel again. I'm not cut out for the swamp northward, so probably come back here. Hopefully their gates will be open by then.
Maybe he could
We
come with
could-
us for the gates.
Yeah, we could get you an Oriakester. We know the lieutenant. Ish.
The guys, the last time that we escorted somebody here, they tried to kill us.
And you ripped
Well,
his head off.
maybe we shouldn't. And
I
by the way, I rolled a 15
I didn't
for
really
the horses.
want to broadcast that well. Okay.
Thank you, Will, for airing out our dirty laundry.
Yeah.
So the horses are fine, and as you kind of comment that to Will, there is a slight this half elf man, his skin gets at the slight bit pale, much less than you guys were expecting. If I had
We
to,
were attacked.
I wouldn't
I
worry about
had
it too much, man.
I'm fine. I've had to kill a couple bandits in my travels. So.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That
Shut
sounds
up. In any
Right.
case, we can probably get you through the gates. Maybe. Just, I really hope you don't end up like that guy.
Well, he also betrayed us and attempted to kill us too. So
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm saying is I really don't want him to end up being like that guy.
Well, if it puts you all at ease, I can be ahead of you all, so you can keep an eye on me. Chester's spry. Not, he's got a little bit of energy in him, so he likes to be out in front. He points over to his horse.
Fair enough. All right.
That should keep Axolotl from getting jealous.
Well, yeah, we can at least escort you to Oriacaster. We might be able to get through the gates. I can't promise anything.
once we figure out if we can get in the gates, we don't even know why it's closed.
No, exactly. That's kind of my point. But all right,
But
we
then-
got your wheel back on. We'll give you a minute to get turned around. How about that?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
And he gives a quick little whistle. Chester comes trotting over.
Ruby walks
at a-
over.
Yeah, and almost on the whistle, Chester's like almost trying to get away from you. Not that he doesn't like you. It's just, hell yeah, I get to pull shit again. Let's go.
Dad!
Trots over, and the man sets up the barding, gets everything hooked back into place. The rest of the travel goes smoothly. Get some nice view of a few of good lord. You get a nice view of a few flying bees of birds, beginning their migrations or finishing up. And as you guys creep up over the top of the hill, leaning back towards Oriacaster on the western side, let me get you guys back to the city map. Let's see here, neutral zone, Oriacaster. You can see just to the southwest the stone walls, a little bit of ivy, the polished, the polished and well-kept watchtowers. And as you make your way south to meet up with the main road, if I can zoom out, you guys like to get to about here, and he immediately begins to pull over to the side of the road. See, I don't know what's going on, but they got something's got them spooked. And you can see there's about 6 or 7 carts that are between the gate and the little bit of houses there that have set up shop. The shopkeepers are, or not the shopkeepers, but the cart owners are a little frustrated, kind of half-heartedly trying to offer wares, but even they seem disinterested. The gate is indeed shut, and the heavy iron portcullis jammed into the earth. And you can see that Teeming Legion, the members of the Teeming Legion are on watch. And there's a couple of men just beyond the gate. What do you guys
I'll go
do?
talk to them. I'll go talk to
Can-
them.
Oh, yeah, I'm going with Will.
I'll walk up with them, and then I'll also use sending to let Lieutenant Ravenstar like be. I'm using sending again.
They all walk
Okay.
away from the cart. Does Bird Buddy follow? Or do I
No,
stick
Bird
with
Bud-
Bird Buddy?
Guys, it really doesn't need to be the entirety of the party moving up this road. We just got to get this gate open. And having the Teaming Legion and, like, a member of the Teaming Legion and, you know, assumedly their bodyguard or whatever, plus having a sending message sent to the lieutenant, that's really all we need.
So what do you send to Ravenstar?
Hello, we are back at Oria Kester. We came from the south gate. The gates are closed. Mind letting us in?
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I
Thanks.
think it was like 21. You wait for.
Doobie-doobie-doobie-doo. There we go.
Give it about. It's after a couple minutes. It's after a few seconds that you get a response, and he seems to be at a quick march or hastened pace, because he is a little not necessarily winded, but he is in a way rushing. He's like, I'm on my way, just clarifying things up at the barracks. I'll be there in about 5-10 minutes.
That's just enough time to make a mockery of the gate guard. Perfect.
Try to hold
We'll
back a little
just
bit, Six.
We'll just look to them and ask. Can I ask what's going on?
I'm not asking. Open the gate.
Well, and you can see there's it's actually a sergeant that approaches all of you. You're the group that made your way northward the other day, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we came back.
All right. Well, and he kind of gestures to the portcullis, and there is a gate within the gate that acts as like a cell door to allow people to step through. Give me a few minutes. I'm waiting for Ravenstar to get back. He went to the barracks to figure out what's going on.
I'm sure he's on his way. You mind letting us know, like, why do you have the road blocked off? That's like the only road through here, man.
No, I know, but go ahead and give me a persuasion check
I would like to assist.
at advantage.
Yeah, I'll take the assistance because you suck at persuasion unless it's strength based.
If it's bad, you gotta reroll.
It's a 15.
15.
I take back my reroll.
Okay. And he kind of thinks for a moment. Well, I can't disclose too much. We're still trying to piece things together, but a patron went into a bakery a couple days ago after they heard some screaming.
No.
And they immediately ran back out and made a report, something about monsters. So we contained it, but
What day did it happen?
a 2 days ago at night.
He then turns to the others and says, "That's where Iris's auntie works at."
Fuck. Okay.
Wait, you all know the Bakers?
Yeah, we know the baker.
They're from Rembark's Rest.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
What's
I can't.
What's the status? Just tell me the status of the baker.
They're both okay. We have them at the barracks. I don't know many details, but they are okay. But
That's all I needed to know.
something happened. I've been over here in the Western Barracks. I'm only working on rumors and orders. That being said, I saw you approach with that traitor. I can only let you all in. If you want to keep your cart here overnight, I can walk you through the gate, and I can get your carts into the city tomorrow morning.
You might have to talk to Bird on that one.
When they come back to explain, I'll go over to talk to the trader.
Okay. Everybody, Liz.
Everybody's like just waiting for everybody to
Come back.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, once we're done talking to that guy, I'm not going to say anything to Iris right now. Well,
She's already going through so much. She doesn't need to know something happened to her aunt and uncle.
nothing happened to her aunt and uncle. They're both fine.
Okay,
You heard them,
then-
man.
Okay, we got this. We got this. We're good. We're okay.
So, once they tell Liz what's going on, she'll say, "I'll go talk to the trader."
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
What's the word?
There was an incident inside the gates, and the reason the gate is closed is because they're containing it. So,
Did they
it's
give an estimate of when they're going to open?
unfortunately no. Apparently we're going to be allowed in to go talk to Ravenstar. However, they might be able to let our carts in tomorrow morning.
Fuck it. What's one more night out the city? I'm okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just stick with our carts. You'll be with us.
I'll keep an eye on your animals too if you want. I know the stables here are inside the city, so I'll make sure they're rested and fed.
Can I go ahead and insight check him?
Go for it. Because this
Oh,
is another potion. Because this is another potion maker you guys have met on this fucking road, and the last one didn't work out well.
That's not why I'm laughing. Did you hear Bird Buddy?
What? No.
What-
Bird Buddy goes, insight.
At the
Right as
same
I say,
time.
can I insight check him?
I
Yeah,
don't
also get
think
his
Bird Buddy's
name.
gonna need help though.
go ahead and give me insights, you two.
Can we also get
I
his
would've-
name and address too, and his social security?
The dice curse has ended. I have not rolled terribly today. I got a natural 20.
I'm knocking
Yes.
on wood.
I
Nice.
got
Hey.
a natural 27.
Ooh.
Okay. Hang on.
Azuth
What's-
answers when she decides she wants to.
Okay, guess what? You're not that
Hmm.
much higher than me, Bird Buddy. Natural 26.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a truly blessed day.
Ugh. Well, I don't think John would throw 2 evil potion sellers at us. I still don't trust it.
Now we
And
just gotta
I've
watch
only-
out for the cabbages next.
he is on 100% the up and up. He is a traveler. He's just trying to get his wares sold and move from city to city. I don't have a name for him, but he would give
I'll
it.
come up with a name for him.
Yeah.
I need a name.
Uh,
I need a name.
Oh, that
No,
one
we're
says
adopting this traveler.
my
we simply
my
know
brain
him as,
juices are running low, so
we
he is on
simply-
the up and up though.
Oh, we simply know him as Potion Seller.
BB
Potions.
is going to glare at him, narrow their eyes, and then kind of like make the motion like if you hurt them, and then they do the throat thing.
That's gotta look hilarious coming from a creature that is like the size of a sneeze.
I mean, considering the birds are what 9 feet tall themselves.
Yeah.
The birds
no,
are
yeah.
9 feet tall. Bird Buddy's
Well-
4 feet tall.
Let's. I had no intention. Did I do something to upset you?
Don't
Uh,
worry about them, man.
It's not your fault.
The guy that betrayed us was another potion seller that was on their way to Oriacaster, so we're, once bitten.
I completely understand.
And
I
Not to mention, they are. Not to mention. Sorry.
the point is, it's nothing personal, and we're
I-
just.
no, I get it. Strangers on the road. I had to kill off. I had to handle a couple bandits. They tried the same wolf. So
We go. We'll take care of you while we're out here. Tomorrow morning, we're working on limited information. We're just coming back in to turn it into quest.
fair enough. And as you guys finish up, you all hear Ravenstar. You all back? I'm here. And you can see just past the portcullis, he is trying to gesture you guys over, like sticking his hand up, waving.
DB
I
does the eye watch thing, the two
Will
fingers and eyes and pointing back at the
approaches.
potion seller, and then goes to the gate.
I still don't remember this guy's first name.
Helenar.
Helenar.
Hi, Lore.
Hi,
Hi,
Lore.
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 Which is
Hi,
it?
Lore. I was close.
So to figure out where we're going to be going, not necessarily where we're going to be going, but would you guys be under the assumption that you wouldn't tell Iris and leave her with the potion seller?
Yeah.
Or would you?
Much.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
We'd say something happened within the gate. We're gonna go investigate and come back to you, but we'd like for you to stay with the cards.
Yes.
Fair enough. Okay. And yeah, and she would definitely be for it. Okay. All right. So as
Permission to threaten him.
Don't-
You already did.
We already did.
denied,
The man has been
yeah.
sufficiently threatened.
Leave the man
And-
alone. He's on the up and up. He's good.
as
Yeah,
you,
boy.
Liz, as you let Iris know, she does reluctantly come out of the cart, but her hood is up, holding it close. Semi-far gaze. Axe
I'm
turns
gonna
around
do
and
something.
nuzzles.
I'm gonna put my jacket on her.
Okay. But yeah, with your jacket and
I'm gonna leave my quarterstaff with Iris to use as a rudimentary spell focus.
okay,
I don't know how magic
Whacker.
works.
yeah, you're fine. But you'll watch as the potion seller undoes the Axe speaks, and they stay close to the cart. Axe is very concerned about Iris and rests his head on her lap, and she just kind of blankly pets him. Rainstar quickly gestures you all through the gates, and you can hear a little bit of like, hey, what about us? When are we gonna get in? Coming from the other merchants. But as the gates shut and lock, he kind of looks past you all. What happened?
Where do you want to start?
Well,
I got this, guys.
Okay.
I'll take the satchel off my belt. And, with some genuine respect, hand it over.
And he'll open it and pull out one of the badges, and heavily coated in blood. Most of the brass is deep crimson red and dried now.
I'm sorry. We tried.
I understand. They were good men and women. And puts the badge back into the satchel and tucks it into his cloak.
Before we left, Lieutenant, we buried them.
I appreciate it.
They
But-
shouldn't be bothered.
If you all want to come with me,
Yeah.
it's time I share with. Well, I'll explain more when we get there.
All right.
And he leads you all back west, or rather back east, through the central gates and directly south along the training grounds, to the barracks. It's on the approach. He pulls you all aside, and it's just you guys. He left his escort back at the gates. It's only because I know what you guys want to do that I'm telling you this. Until we decide what to do further, I ask you guys to keep this confidential.
Of course.
Come with me.
All right.
Be quiet. And he leads you into the barracks and down a side hall that leads down the stairs into the holding areas. And all of you are met with a familiar, eerie feeling. A second cell from the back.
Oh, go over.
You can go.
Will goes there.
Ruby
Okay.
follows behind both of them.
As you all approach, you would recognize Venture's voice, and another voice, gently talking, reassuring each other. And as you guys approach, due to the moonlight, there's a bit of a beam of light coming into the cell. They are against the opposite wall from it, tucked into the shadows. And you can see one of them look up to you, and you hear Venture's voice. You were with Iris the other day, right?
Yeah, she's.
I was.
Did you all enjoy our sweets?
They were good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, they were great.
Is she okay? And you can see the figure, like,
Yeah,
looking.
yeah, she's fine. A little freaked out, but she's okay. She's back at the cart right now. What happened?
I don't know. Forrest, my husband, and she gestures, and we saw her fighting something, the monsters, and when we came to, the figure steps up, and through the light, there's a slight glint of brass near the back of the head, and she approaches closer and steps in, and standing at about the height, about 3.5 feet, you all see a mind flare with a brass spider-like mechanism on the back of their head. I don't know. And that's where we're gonna wrap the session.
Well,
shit.
Okay.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
I was about to ask if Will was able to put two and two together.
Oh my fuck. Oh no.
Yeah, right. I was just looking for a rude one tomorrow.
Okay, so the little mind flayer is that like Iris's like cousin?
That's her aunt.
Aunt. Oh, she's
Will would know
small.
Venture as her aunt.
And she's tiny.
Yeah,
They're gnomes.
yeah,
Gnome.
yeah,
Oh.
3.5 feet tall.
They're gnomes.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, half.
And Forrest, her husband, would
They
step
were her
out.
neighbors and viewed them like family.
But yeah, Forrest and Forrest would step out, her husband, and he is one as well. Before we wrap, though,
Mhm.
elsewhere in the realm, a few weeks prior, the sound of combat could be coming from a familiar cave
Right, halfling.
deep within the hole. Combat screams, And as the Legion are slowly overtaken, the commander sees a shadowy figure. Whatever you do, shut it. As the gate cuts them in half, and this figure is standing amongst the dead bodies. Eerie red eyes appearing from under a hood. Good section, guys.
I'm gonna come for your knees. I'm gonna come for your knees. Your knees are mine now. Those are my knees. Give them to me.
Right, halflings. Sorry, not gnomes, halflings.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. Oh my god, this. I don't even think I have a spell to fix what's going on with these guys.
It would probably end up being like greater restoration. Yeah, none of us have the ability to.
Yeah, I'm not up to that level yet.
Yeah, none of us have the ability to do that. It's something to think about.
Possibly.
It's we'll have to figure out what to do in the next, coming couple of weeks. But yeah, that was a great session, guys, and it was a little bit longer. We got lucky this week.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and deafen up here in Discord, and I'll do my sign off.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, stick around,
Okay.
guys. We are going to be raiding off here in just a moment. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, stick around like 5 minutes or so, possibly longer if you like the person that we raid off to. Be sure to join us tomorrow for Waifu Wednesday. It'll probably just be me. That's if I end up streaming at all. If you want to keep up with announcements and what have you, you can join my Discord from the link just underneath the video player here. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Have a great night.